Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Doctor Who live stream. This time, talking about the Doctor Who figures. Once again, I am joined with Luke.
Yes, hello everyone. It's something a little bit different this week. We've been doing Big Finish and some TV Doctor Who for goodness knows how long now. It's been a while.
Yeah, a fair
But I
bit.
mean, your channel is pretty much 50% that, and I'd say 50% figures.
Yeah,
Like when
yeah,
the new wave comes around, you're right on it, getting the reviews out there. But when it comes to streams, we don't really cater to that side of your audience as much. So this
yeah.
is our way of saying hello to all you lovely people who are just here for the figure stuff.
You dolly loving public. But I
Mm.
think figures are kind of seasonal because once you've had that initial wave, that's it. Really, kind of in that sort of lull period where figures
Yeah.
aren't a constant thing throughout the year. They're kind of here's your online special, here's your B&M wave, and that's it really.
Mm.
And that's all.
Yeah,
Whereas Big Finish is a conveyor belt of new content every week,
it's a release or two every week at this point. It's pretty mad.
and getting more expensive.
Yeah.
As we'll cover when we talk about the Ninth Doctor D's, because we'll do a little bit of Big Finish, and then we'll have a lot of toy talk, as it
Yeah.
were.
Yeah, get through the new stuff first while we wait for everyone to come along, really. But hello, Dragabug's in the chat. The
Hello, hello.
webcam is back. Not quite.
It's not quite. I'm using my old phone because I thought because we're talking about figures, kind of need visuals.
Mm.
But yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I think so. Well, not quite the webcam, but the laptop that you used to have the webcam on was the cause of a lot of our technical difficulties recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of lag. I'd say something then there'd be like a 10-second delay.
Mm.
It was like Doctor Who Live, the after party. It wouldn't have been fun doing it live with
Yeah.
that. But yeah, maybe this is a way forward. I don't know. We'll figure.
I
We'll
mean, it
cross
seems
that
to be
bridge.
working well at the moment.
Yeah, so it's all fingers crossed we can keep it that way, really.
Yeah. Evening, Joe Bowers. Thank you for joining us.
Evening.
Hello, Tyler Yates, if you're still around. Sorry for the delay there.
Sorry. We're kind of known for being late because we like to have a little waffle to settle in before we go live. So we're just kind of ease ourselves into it, really, then clicking live as soon as we arrive. But yeah.
Well, hello, Daniel Hager.
Hello.
If you're well, this was actually left at 6:01, but if you're here with us now, welcome.
Hello. But yeah, we'll wait for a few more people to join. What have you been up to? What have you been doing?
What have I been doing?
Yeah, what have you been doing?
Somewhat enjoying the snow, I suppose.
Yeah.
Not not overly enjoying it, but just like it's pretty out there to look at first.
Snow's great until you actually have to do stuff, and then you're like, oh, I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, you've had to put up with it more than me because mine was
Yeah.
pretty much all gone on Thursday. We had quite a mild one. I'm a bit further south than you, but you've still got it hanging around, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm out in the sticks, so you can check out my Twitter for some lovely snow toy photography. So yeah.
Got your TARDIS out there.
Did the classic "It's snowing" Doctor Who edition. Put a TARDIS there.
It's the revelation of the Daleks vibes, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I should have put a Necros Dalek in and go, haha, Necros. But yeah,
Recreate the scene of it flying that was ended up not being used or whatever. I can't remember.
Yeah. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah.
Mandalorian episode 2.
Yeah, that drop, that was great. Loved it.
Eric.
I've got him there. Got him there for later use because we're going to talk about Hasbro as well, about what character options can learn from other figure lines. So
was that the standard or the Maldo crease one there?
That's Snowy Mando.
Fitting again.
Yeah, so he's on brand.
Yeah, I'd say after a bit of a shaky start in episode 1, episode 2, like Bo-Katan's the MVP at the moment.
No, Grogu in episode 2. Just the way he was like looking at Bo, I was like, he's making it for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
I
found
loved
like
him.
the misdirection in the trailers, like the lines like "Did you think your dad was the only Mandalorian?" made her
Mm.
seem menacing, but actually she's just getting along with Grogu. They're just chilling.
Yeah, because it made out like she was the villain of the series. Like it's going to be the fight for the dark saber again. But yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that was wonderful stuff. And do you remember back in season 2 of Clone Wars, there was that R2 come home episode?
Oh yeah, when RT got sort of picked up by
Yeah.
pirates and Grievous was like get information. Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, not that one. The
Not
one
that one.
season 2 towards the end, the Boba Fett one, where Anakin and Mace Windu got trapped on the bridge of the
Oh yeah,
Venator.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with
Like
you.
immediately when Din got trapped and sent Grogu off, I was getting R2 come home vibes. I was thinking they could have got
Oh,
this episode Grogu come home.
oh, that'd have been nice.
Yeah.
That'd have been cool.
So I've had that similar vibe to it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it felt like Mando was back, really, because I think maybe because it was a bit longer as well.
That's right. Seeing Mandalore itself as well was very exciting.
I think because I just finished Clone Wars as well. I was like, oh, it's different.
Yeah, because you'd have Mandalore right at the end there.
Mm.
And now he's seeing it in a much different state.
Yeah,
It's still
bombarded.
it's still recognisable though.
Yeah. You could.
Yeah, it's wonderfully done. And I mean, keeping it on brand with Doctor Who, did you sort of get almost Dalek vibes from the eye in that robotic creature? Like just the eye itself?
Yeah.
The lighting.
Bit
very much.
paradigmy.
Yeah. Or maybe I was thinking more like Into the Dalek, like
Yeah, I see that.
with that, just
Mutant
the glow of
Rusty.
it, like the orange light. It has,
Yeah.
a similar
see
feel
that.
to when they were inside Rusty.
Yeah.
I see into your soul, Din.
Oh, what a man! What a man!
Yeah, that was an interesting creature, but yeah.
Yeah, make for a good figure.
Well, despite me being much more fond of Mandalorian this week, I think Bad Batch has still won out both times.
All right, okay.
But episode 12 of season 2 of the Bad Batch is exceptional stuff.
See, I've not dived into Bad Batch at all.
I mean, you got quite a few animated series to pick from at the moment, haven't you?
I mean, I've started Tales of the Jedi.
How many have you done?
I've done all the Dooku ones.
So you just got the last 2 to go.
Yeah.
What are you making of it?
I like the Dooku stuff. It was nice sort of exploring a younger Dooku. That was cool.
It's nice little supplementary stuff to the Clone Wars in a way, and the prequels as a whole.
And poor like Yardle. My God. What? Oh, little icon.
I think it's brilliant how they did that. The 4th episode, the Sith Lord. Wonderful stuff.
Really good.
Yeah. What other than Tales of the Jedi? What else have you been up to?
Like you, enjoying the snow, enjoying a bit more Pedro content on Hot Ones. That was cool, watching him on that. Monday had this, very cool. There's me on a little short film poster shown at a cinema, so that was really cool, seeing this mush on the big screen. That was very cool. And that's mainly been me, really, snow and that. So it's all good, yeah.
Yeah, I also finished the New Frontiers box set of Fourth Doctor Adventures, and I was telling you just before we went live that I think this is probably the best box set the Fourth Doctor's had since Series 9, Volume 2, and that had Planet of the Witches and Quest of the Engineer in it. Yeah, I mean, there's some very good stories in between that, but usually the way it works out with Fourth Doctor stuff is you'll have one good story and one meh one in a box set, and that seems to be how they paired them up. But this time, they did well. 2 pretty good ones.
I mean, I've only listened to like half of Ice Heist, and I'm enjoying it for what it is. It's weird
it's
actually
the
having
the 2.
It's weird having this series because it's like a series we've known for such a long time, and it just feels weird that we're finally listening to it. after
Yeah.
like wanting it for so long.
It almost feels weird that we haven't had 14 announced.
Because
Yeah,
you
because
guess
we've
there will
known.
be
Yeah, we've known about 13 since
2019
2019 or 2020.
or 2020. Yeah,
I think it was
it was an
just
online.
before.
It
Yeah,
was an
just
online
before
Big
that online
Finish.
Big Finish day.
Yeah,
But still, that's nearly 3 years ago. So yeah,
mental.
certainly we've had a while sitting on Series 13. So I wonder when 14 will come along, because we're used to having about 3 in advance of the current series, and now we are just have 1.5 left to go.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty more to come. And I guess we've had a recent taste of what Fourth Doctor content's like. Well, Tom Baker in the Strange Chemistry set. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what Tom sounds like in that. Really.
You haven't dived into that one yet, then?
No, no. It's getting mixed reviews, much like most 8th of March box sets. So I'm kind of like bracing myself for it.
Yeah,
Really.
staying wary of it.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah, it's a
It's a
shame with
shame.
the 8th of March, because Big Finish have some amazing female talent working for them, and they do some great stuff in other series. It just seems that when it comes together to highlight that, it falls apart a bit, which
Yeah, the
certainly
heart's in
from
the
what.
right place. I just don't think everything sort of marries together, as it were.
Yeah, it's an odd one. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll listen to it and love it, but
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. But yeah, have you finished all of Time and Space? Because I know you'd started on that last time I streamed.
I've not touched it since. Not touched it.
Ah,
Not touched it. I'm sort of saving that because I'm like, that's the Big Finish I'm enjoying at the minute.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we're doing Return of Joe Jones next week for our Big
yeah.
Finish band stream, so we got to get through that first. I started it. I certainly have felt that pull of, just stick on Geronimo instead. You'll enjoy it more,
Yeah.
because it's a bit of a struggle so far.
I I think that's a common thing with me and Big Finish right now. I don't know if it's fatigue or I'm just not in the right mindset for it. I don't know, because like the news. I guess we can talk about Ninth Doctor because this kind of
Yeah,
flows
this
into it.
ties
Really,
into our
it ties into it. So I'll just load up the old news, and then we'll talk about dollies.
yeah. Yeah, I know Dragon Bugs, you asked before we went live if we would be talking about the announcement of Series 3 of the Ninth Doctor Adventures, and here we go.
Here we are.
It's a wonderful little picture of Eccleston there.
Oh yeah, it's a great best
Giving
thing
off
to come
those
from
Heaven
the
Sent
announcement.
vibes.
Yeah. So, Series 3 of the Ninth Doctor, I think we knew it was happening.
I didn't expect it this soon, though, because it's like back May again, 2 months away.
Very quick turnaround, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very much keeping up that same pace we've had with the last 2 series, really. So yeah, by August, we'll have had 10 Ninth Doctor Adventures sets non-stop, like every 3 months. But it seems to be taking a break in November.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
Volume 3 doesn't come out until February, and then Volume 4's scheduled for May next year, at least
Oh,
at the
right.
moment.
Okay.
So I'm assuming, maybe that's down to
Not recorded?
I would say more down to what's it called, BBC,
Okay.
and them or maybe not even
Anniversary.
BBC, maybe Big Finish themselves have just thought, you know what, we'll steer clear of that time while the anniversary's on.
Yeah, but that makes sense, actually.
Yeah, I think like November's going to be a bit of a low month for Big Finish, at least in terms of Doctor Who. While the focus is more on TV Doctor Who, because certainly we had that during the Chris Chibnall era as well. where like they had to delay certain announcements, didn't they, and things, and not kick up too much of a fuss over releases while it was like the build up to a new Who episode or a special.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see that being the case here. Particularly with an Eccleston set, that's something they drop trailers for and everything. So
Yeah, they go all out for Eccleston.
Yeah, they don't want to be treading on each other's toes. That's probably the way it goes with that. But nevertheless, May. It's
May.
already a chock-a-block month with Once and Future, Lost Stories, Sixth Doctor, War Doctor, probably something else I've forgotten as well. And
Torchwood.
Now, Torchwood starts. Not that we were worrying about that anyway, but that's nevertheless, it's going to be like, what, 2 big releases a week, I think?
Yeah. So we'll be busy in May. Very busy. Yeah. For sure.
Ooh, were you able to find the clip?
No.
Well, basically, as soon as this news was dropped, I sent then a GIF of the Ninth Doctor going,
Yeah,
because
from Alien to London.
Yeah, that was my honest reaction. It's not like excitement. It's not disappointment. It's just this is happening now. I should feel more.
I had that when I saw the price, because the price has increased on this.
No longer doing vinyls.
Yeah, which I think was to be expected, because they did like a video of complete your Ninth Doctor vinyl collection. So like, okay, the vinyls are definitely stopped then.
Yeah, because they've not sold out of any of them yet, have they?
No, not at all.
Yeah, like even Series 1 still lying around.
I thought some of the Series 1 might have gone, and I'm glad that I dipped out of the vinyls. Not because Series 2 was crap, but it's just another expense I didn't really need.
Yeah, although now they're coming back at you with that because they're making you pay more for the CDs.
And I'm genuinely questioning, because the state I'm in with Big Finish at the minute, I'm like, do I need this? Because I wasn't that of a fan of Series 2. And it feels really bad, because Eccleston was my first Doctor.
Yeah.
And it feels wrong that we're kind of taking him for granted. But for me, the stories haven't been there for him,
Yeah, I didn't feel like I was clamouring for more at all after Shades of Fear. Like just a year ago, had we got to Old Friends and not had a Series 2 announcement, there would be a serious worry that, okay, this is it now.
Yeah.
But with the end of Series 2, with no Series 3 confirmed, I wasn't concerned. I was like, you know what, I'm okay to go without Eccleston for a while.
Yeah.
Like, not because of Chris himself at all,
but
just because the series hasn't been doing much for me. Although,
go on.
This box that has a promise, the first one, Pioneers, has a promising set of writers and a promising title. Maybe it's because Back to Earth as well, and that May slot was a good one.
Yeah.
I'm sort of thinking, could we at least get a good opener here? Kickstart the box set with The Green Gift by Roy Gill. Could it be Green Death sequel?
Or actually a Ninth Doctor Crinoid story?
Maybe. Yeah, could we see a returning foe in there at all? Northern Lights by Robert Valentine. And
I think that's going to be a Salford story.
Maybe.
Because he's talked about when he first started Big Finish, he did that big interview, didn't he? And he's like, I like to travel back to like Salford in like the 50s and 60s. And Salford ain't nice,
But with the box set being called Pioneers and that being the Northern Lights, I was thinking maybe more like a trip up to the is it Antarctic or Arctic? That's the northern one. I should know this by now.
You question geography. I think it's ant. It's I feel like it's ant.
Yeah,
I know.
Antarctic.
Antarctic.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it might be a historical. That's an expedition up there. Because Rob Valentine himself as well did say this one took a lot of research.
Okay.
So I could see that. But yeah, Station to Station from Series 2, the highlight of the series. So
Yes, yeah.
Rob Valentine
Brilliant.
wrote that one, and I'm excited for Northern Lights here. And then The Beautiful Game by Catherine Armitage, who did, what was that, Seventh Doctor story?
Displaced?
Yeah, that's it. That was
Yeah.
wonderful stuff. And that's very, like, domestic. So I could see this being a banger as well. So, yeah. I mean, in terms of that, I think I am looking forward to the set, but we'll see about the series overall as we go. Also, The Beautiful Game. When you say about Salford, could this be football and Manchester United related?
It could be,
because
couldn't it? Yeah.
Eccleston himself is a fan. He's been
that's
out
right.
on Instagram joking about that 7-0 defeat they had.
Well, there we go.
I don't follow football too closely. I'm not really a big fan, but I've got fans within my family, so
Yeah.
I sort of just soak it up as I go through, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, just, football itself is often called the beautiful game. So could it be a Ninth Doctor football story of sorts, which is bizarre to think about, but it could work. Or it could be,
yeah,
could be something totally different. Could be more along the lines of the long game. Who knows?
That'd be interesting if we have that.
But yeah, I suppose going back to the price.
Yes,
we are getting individual covers still for this one. That seems to be like their justification for the hike up in the price. Would you have preferred no individual covers for a cheaper price here?
See, I do like the individual cover art, but it does feel like a big jump from what, 24 quid to 30 quid in a way. Like,
yeah,
in terms of like simple economics, I know it's not that much, but it's just that seeing that number, like all that just seems a bit steep compared to what you normally pay.
Especially like the bundle price is what, 108. Where what was the last? Was it 88?
Yeah, it was 88 quid.
Yeah, so it's gone. Yeah, so it's gone up 20 quid to the bundle, which makes sense because it's 5 extra quid per box set. But still, just dropping 108 quid for something you paid for last year that was only, 88.
Yeah,
You're not getting anything different there. I don't see why the behind the scenes has to be a separate disc.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
Yeah. When it was with the vinyls, I kind of understood because it's sort of like lining up the content with what was on the vinyls, and the vinyls couldn't have a spare disc. But here you can easily fit the extras onto the individual ones. They're doing it all the time with pretty much every other box set at this point. You're not like, when you look at the run times of these sets compared to 3-disc sets, which come with 3 stories, they're more or less the same.
Yeah, that is true.
Especially a lot of the Ninth Doctor ones have 48 minutes, I think, was the Blooming Menace run time.
Okay, yeah.
So, there's plenty of room still on that disc to fit the extras for the Blooming Menace itself. It's not even like they edit all 3 stories extras together. It is very much split up between each story still. So, I don't see why they couldn't just put it all together. And I think we like to defend Big Finish when it comes to pricing-wise, because it is a luxury, ultimately.
Yes.
They are a small company. They're not out to make a huge profit at all. They're not lining their pockets at our expense. They are just, making enough to get by, really. But yeah, certainly with this, I feel like they could have not cut some corners, but made some sacrifices to make it cheaper.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, does it show that the Ninth Doctor stuff's selling that well that they can commit to, much like the Ninth Doctor vinyls, that the Series 1 must have sold all right to do a Series 2 of vinyl. So
yeah,
they must be pretty good sales for them to go, you know what, we can still afford to do the individual artwork and all that, really. Which I think is a testament to it, you know, and fair play for Eccleston's making some good coin for them.
Yeah, it is nice to see that the individual covers still stick around. I suppose we had that poll a while ago, didn't we? Where they were asking, would you prefer higher prices for individual covers or lower prices for just the one cover? And suppose now this is the result of that, perhaps?
Right. So it did mention that the pricing would increase, wouldn't it? With some in like the autumn time, and that's when like loads of people started, like you did, bulk order a load of stuff. So if the price did increase,
just two.
But that's a lot for you.
River Song and War Master I got, and then their price ended up not increasing. So kind of ouch, but also I'm not too, because it meant I could just dive into those, and I'm very glad I got to dive into Friend of the Family straight away. So that was worth the 20 quid. Rather than usually I'd wait for a couple of things to come out and then get them all at the same time so I could get 10% off. But yeah, certainly with this now, I'm tempted to just say, I'll go download only for Ninth Doctor.
Yeah. I mean, the spines are all over the place with the CDs.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what happens when what's it called? May rolls around.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly. I went for the Once and Future limited edition bundle. And I got that and I thought, okay, that should be enough Big Finish purchasing for a while now. I've got the Classic Doctors bundle for this year. I've got my Once and Future secured. Should be pretty safe now. But no. Now Ninth Doctor's thrown a spanner in the works.
You feel like you've sort of budgeted, you got it all sorted, then they throw like a curveball, like, okay, I'm going to commit,
Yeah.
I'm going to commit to this. Because Once and Future, I think 75% are sold out.
80 now.
80 now,
they
crikey.
added a little, So it's, I think revealing this cover that we got on screen here certainly kickstarted the sales again for them.
And then with the news of the poster as well, I think we've got a video planned about breaking down this, so we're not going to cover it too much.
Yeah, like everything we know about Once and Future, because there's quite a few details like all dispersed over the place, isn't there? So we're going to try and get them all in one place for everyone.
So if you want a handy guide about Once and Future so far, got you covered. We got you covered,
Yeah. Out within a week, I suppose. We'll see.
Yeah, easily. But the posters look very cool for this so far.
Yeah, I don't think they've put it out on Twitter. I don't think they've put it up on.
Yeah, I don't think they have. I'll have a little Google and find the poster.
Yeah. I've got it.
Oh, you've got it. Okay.
Yeah. So if I screen share. There it is.
There we go. Add that to the stream. Is it loading? There we go.
Yeah, so that's it. It's wonderful stuff.
Very pretty.
I can't remember the name of the artist, but he also did the Abominable Snowmen Doctor Who magazine cover.
Oh yeah, I recognise it now. You mentioned that, like the same style.
Yeah, so it's sort of like that wonderful B-movie style there.
I like that a lot,
Yeah, so that's a nice, and it's nice that it's a fold-out one as well.
Yes, yeah.
So you get a nice big image of it, and I suppose that's the way they've got around it, because before we used to have 8-page booklets where it had the staples in between. Like this was I think it was series 4 of the Fourth Doctor Adventures. They phased that out. 2015. I think 2015 they stopped doing that and just had like a single little pamphlet in there. I'm sure there's some older videos of us kicking up a fuss about that, which is funny.
Yes, because we
didn't know how good we had it.
no.
But yeah, so with this, it's a good way to get around that and still get more bonus stuff in that. And hopefully we could maybe see this carried on.
Yeah.
Because, just doubling the amount of paper hopefully wouldn't cost that much more.
Think of the trees. The trees for it.
I mean, sometimes they slip 2 leaflets in there accidentally anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, sometimes you can end up with a bonus booklet if you're lucky. But yeah, it would be wonderful to fold it out. You don't even have to do different artwork, just have the clean artwork as like a bigger image, I think would be cool. Especially for the box sets where inside, you don't really need the cover again on that booklet because it's not going in the sleeve or anything. So yeah, it'd just be nice to get a little bit more stuff there.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Stephen Noonan is in the chat.
Hello, Stephen.
Hello,
Thanks
Stephen.
for joining.
Yeah, they just said we're talking amongst themselves. Yes, we.
Yeah, very good at
lost in
waffling.
the Big Finish rabbit hole a bit there.
Standard for us.
Yeah. Oh, hello, Brian Smith as well. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Yeah, let's have a look at what we've missed.
Of the almighty waffle. That's us, the almighty waffle. That is for sure. We love a good waffle.
Stylish One has been listening to the Sarah Kingdom Companion Chronicles Home Troops. It's a masterpiece. And the understated rage of the Time Lords, which pleasantly surprised me. That's the War Master set, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, Sarah Kingdom trilogy, brilliant. Brilliant Big Finish. Brilliant.
Yeah, you often praise that one, don't you? Favourite Fourth Doctor box set for each series. Also, what will it take for you to listen to the Fourth Doctor Lost Stories box set, Luke? It's a popular and highly regarded masterpiece for a good reason.
Yeah, Luke. Why didn't you listen to it?
Yeah. When Big Finish have go a month without announcing a new release that breaks the bank, because it's tough enough keeping up with the current content, let alone going back and filling in the gaps.
I think it's on Spotify, so there's no excuse.
Oh,
no excuse.
I don't have Spotify.
I'll hook you up. It's fine.
I also need then the time to listen to it when I'm not.
Hey, you've got plenty. March is a quiet month for Big Finish. You have plenty of time.
We've got a whole trilogy to get through at some point.
Yeah, I mean, we do have 6 hours of Big Finish there, but it's fine.
Yeah. And I've got my Geronimo. You got me onto that, so,
Oh, that's some good stuff to listen to.
Maybe eventually. I think it's just going to be one of those on a whim moments, really.
Yeah.
Imagine after all this time, Fourth Doctor Adventure Series 13 gets overshadowed if they announce the next 2 series, Fourth Doctor 50, surely. Yeah, there's got to be something going on there for the 50th year of the Fourth Doctor.
I feel like there has to be something. It's Tom after all.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's funny because for a while, Margaret was sort of overshadowed by
Anne.
Naomi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, kind of along. I mean, I'd say if any, Anne was almost overshadowed by Margaret. I don't know. Was Series 12 announced by that point?
Probably.
I think Anne certainly overshadowed Leela in Series 7 because we were like, we were ready for some new stuff and we were getting another series which we'd already had quite a few of the same.
Yeah.
With Series 1, 3, and 4. But yeah, Dragonbug says, I'm optimistic for Series 3. Ninth Doctor Adventures there. Yeah, hopefully you're right, Dragonbugs.
Yeah.
It would be nice to be surprised. And there has been like a year between the recordings.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe they've had time to, work these stories out a bit better. We'll see.
Yeah, just give us 2-parters, please.
I mean, that's one worrying thing, isn't it? In the news article itself, it says 12 more stories, not 12 more episodes. So it looks like it's indicating that it will be all 1-parters, but we'll see. We might be able to keep our fingers crossed, but
yeah, fingers crossed.
I'm not getting my hopes up, sadly. Oh, Stephen says, I'm just on my way out, but I noticed you whippersnappers were about, so I thought I'd pop on and say good evening.
Good
Followed
evening.
by good evening. Yes, good evening, Stephen.
Good
We'll
evening.
catch up to the later messages soon. Dragonbug said hey to Stephen Noonan, and Stephen said hi back. Getting a running commentary on what we missed here.
We love it. We love it. We love it, fam.
Joe Bauer says, I wonder if Callan Lennox will appear in The Green Gift, given it's written by Roy Gill, who wrote the previous story, Red Darkness. I mean, it certainly ended on a cliffhanger there,
I
didn't
wouldn't
it?
be surprised if they are in it.
Yeah, him and Doyle, that was the dog.
Yes,
They were
Doyle.
wonderful. So yeah, I would be very happy if they were sticking around for a box set. I think it won't be a long-term companion thing, but I wouldn't say no to like a short-term little follow-up there, because it's certainly confirmed that they are going on a couple of adventures together. So why not show us those?
Yeah, why not?
I'm back. Say what you will about the Ninth Doctor audios, but at least Eccleston is having a good time.
Yeah,
It is joyous there, isn't it?
yeah. It sounds
Didn't-
like, from what David Richardson said, that they're blasting the tunes out, having a little boogie. Sounds like a great time in the recording booth.
Yeah, I'd love to see a behind-the-scenes video of that going on.
Oh yeah, yeah. Forget about the interviews. Get a video of that, and I'll pay the bundle price.
Yeah,
Forget Eccleston boogieing.
Just have that be the bonus disc.
Literally, I'll take that. I'll take it.
Have that be the individual artwork.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah, like each artwork for the 4 box sets is a different frame of it, and then you get it all together. You flick it across, and you get it.
And just see it in motion.
In your hands.
Oh, great! Great!
Yeah, it's heartwarming to know that Eccleston is having a good time with these. I think, especially after you had a bit more of a rougher time on the show itself.
Yeah,
it's sort of nice to have Doctor Who as a experience, I suppose, rehabilitated for him in a way.
I think the fans rehabilitated him a lot when he did his first Comic-Con, and people reaching out and going, "Look, we love you. We don't hate you."
Yeah, and sort of like realizing how much he meant to so many people, especially now
with our generation.
With our generation, has sort of grown up quite a bit, and so he's getting a lot of that response a lot more now. Yeah. Also, he just seems like quite a fun guy.
Yeah, real fun guy. Yeah.
So all the best to Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah, long may it continue.
Not sure if you noticed, but they said series 3 will have 12. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dragon Bugs. Yeah, so, which probably means no 2-parters again. Yeah, sad times. Ooh, and individual covers. Stylish one's happy about the individual covers.
Yeah. It's nice to see them continue.
I just don't know if the price is worth it, sadly.
Yeah.
Have you seen Maureen O'Brien's credited as the sound designer for the third Once and Future limited edition only? Oh, my mistake,
No.
standard edition.
No.
Joe Bowers' mistake, not my mistake.
No.
Let's have a look if this is... It might be an error, but maybe...
Hey,
Maureen
if
O'Brien's taken...
she's learning a new skill set, fair play.
She is, as well.
Hey.
Wow.
Maureen. Go on, girl. Do the sound design.
Yeah. It feels wrong to assume that this is a mistake, because, like, you never know.
Yeah.
She's written some detective books, hasn't she?
Yeah, she has, yeah.
But, I mean, this is a bit different from that, though. But yeah, we shall. Also, just the fact that it's been snuck out there like this makes me think probably an error.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Oh, Stylish One says, first release to come with a poster since Human Resources Part 2?
Yeah, I think so, because Series 1 Lucy Miller had those fold-out posters.
Ah, did they?
Well, Blood of the Daleks and Human Resources did. The other two just had, the other lot just had, the standard concept art.
Ah, I see. So a bit different there. I suppose that was one of those series that they went all out with, wasn't it? Because this was like their modern Who at the time.
I guess as well because it had been on Radio 7, I think. They probably had to make it a bit more premium for people to go, I know you've listened to it, but buy the CD.
Here you can own it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I suppose as well, with it being on the radio, the BBC, paid them for that. And so they had a bit more money lying around to put a bit extra in. Because the audio itself didn't have to make all the money back from sales they had made from the BBC as well. When you do the Fifth Doctor stream, I will dress up as the Fifth Doctor for you, as Peter Davison is my family doctor, says Daniel Hager, the Fifth Doctor fan.
I wonder who your favourite Doctor is. I might have to dig out my cricket jumper then.
You got 2 months, 2 weeks to find it. Not 2 months.
I mean, I'll be lost in 2 months.
Yeah. Stephen, I've now got Stephen Noonan saying they're talking amongst themselves. So
there we go.
Yeah, I've now got another lot to catch up with.
There we go.
Ooh, yeah. The almighty waffle, says Dragon Bugs. Yeah,
that's what we are.
It's catching.
Waffle. Pop that on a t-shirt. Pop that on a t-shirt.
We're gonna get Perch with 11 merch.
Hey, if people want merch, I'd love a mug. I'd love a mug. So yeah.
A Who Demand mug.
Who Demand mug. Yeah.
Who the mug.
Who the mug. You the mug. You the mug. Yeah.
Dragon Bugs. I realised the other day that I spent £200 on Big Finish within the last 3 months. Then I was like, so I'm taking a break so my bank account can recover. Yeah,
it never recovers. It never.
It's always best to not look at things in terms of how much you. Like, if you break it down per week, then you're like, oh, that's not too bad. But then you look back over the last decade, and you're like, shit.
It's bad when we do the tier list, and then you're like, how much did I spend on Big Finish?
Yeah, like the big yearly one, and you're like, this is about 18 quid each on average.
Maybe I have a problem. Maybe I need to go rehab. Yeah.
I brought Dark Eyes 1 today, says Dragon Bugs, and finished listening to the Tyrants of Logic. Fantastic stuff.
Both bangers. Both bangers. Really enjoyed them.
Yeah, Stylish One chips in saying Dark Eyes 1 is so good, the first half is phenomenal. Have you ever received a Big Finish warehouse cardboard that they use to mark shelves with and sometimes send as an extra in some packages?
I don't know.
Not that I'm aware of.
No, I don't know.
I haven't even received Demon's Song, Return of Joe Jones, or New Frontiers yet.
Don't think I've had the dispatch either for them.
Have you had the dispatch for 8th of March?
No. I mean, I can check. I can do a live check.
Yeah.
While you
What's
read the
your
comments.
most recent one? Is it All the Time Space?
I think that's the most recent one I've had arrive. Let's have a look, shall we? Order history. No, payment complete for that. Right, I've got to do a lot of scrolling now to find the big bundle because I ordered that in May.
Oh, I see.
So, bear with. No, nothing's been dispatched from that at all. So, yeah, last thing is All of Time and Space.
Yeah, I wonder if there's something going on now with that bundle as a whole. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, because they seem to be doing all right at the start of the year, but now it's
they were on it. Because I think River Song and 11th Doctor literally arrived the day after it being released.
Yeah, that was mad, wasn't it?
Really quick turnaround.
Yeah. I think, did you get the cast physical before the trailer even dropped?
Yeah, I think I got the CD in the morning, the trailer in the afternoon. I think it worked out, something like that. Yeah. Or it might have been the day after, I don't know. I think it might have been the day before.
Stylish one says, how likely are we to have another Ninth Doctor Adventures set in Scotland? I wouldn't say no.
I mean, we had a break from it, didn't we, in series 2, I think?
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know. It feels right having him in Scotland though.
Yeah, like the Curse of
After
Lady
series 1.
Macbeth, and
Yeah.
that was Girl Deconstructed, brilliant
Yeah.
stuff.
I feel like for Big Finish Ninth Doctor, Scotland almost feels like part of his identity at this point.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd personally like to see a Big Finish story set in Wales. I'm sure there is, though. I probably just haven't experienced it yet. I mean, a fair chunk of Torchwood.
I mean,
Uh,
Boomtown.
yeah. Well, Big
You've got
Finish.
Big Finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Ninth Doctor, don't think you've had any Welsh.
No.
No, don't think so. Put that on the list.
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, it seems more be Scotland. Well, England's certainly most popular destination, then Scotland, I'd say. And then Wales and Ireland sort of get left out a bit.
I mean, the Welsh border got mentioned in Unit New Recruits of River Song in the first
Ah.
story in that.
Yeah, I suppose that's coming close to it, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
that's like
that's right by
Mortimer
me.
Forest, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right by me. So I'm like, haha, cool.
Interesting that in Vortex, Nick Briggs mentions the Divergent universe getting canned due to poor and dwindling sales. That's the third reason for that arc getting canned, along with New Who starting and McGann. What about McGann there? Did
I
he just
I
not like it?
I think it was down to him not feeling like he was a proper Doctor because he wasn't in our universe, because they, Divergent was sort of a different thing. So it's like, are they trying to push me out by putting me in this other universe?
I suppose particularly calling it Divergent,
Yeah,
having his Doctor diverge from the others, perhaps, would be how he sees it.
yeah. And I guess when you have like the new series coming back, I guess you could make inferences that, yeah, we're kind of saying bye, Paul. I can see why he got to that conclusion.
Yeah, but it's funny because after that, he then got his own range, and
Yeah,
that's even more like kicking him out. He's no longer with the main range Doctors. But at the same time, it's sort of a way of making it more special, isn't it? Because it's all his own, and he gets a new style with it going. What's the new series format?
which I think suits McGann
yeah.
anyway. To be honest,
Yeah, he gets Sheridan Smith with him as well, who he loves working with. So yeah,
he's winning. He's winning.
Yeah,
he's winning.
I know he's still got the what's new series format now, hasn't he? It's like his standard. Yeah, like they returned to half-hour ones for Charlie with that box set, but
yeah,
nevertheless, the new series format is what they're going with his ongoing box sets. Yeah. And funnily enough, actually, I think it was Ken Bentley in it was either Ken Bentley or David Richardson in the behind the scenes for Antilia Lost, was talking about how Nicola Walker said to him while doing the Eighth Doctor Adventures, it's unusual having two women in a story as like leads who just get along.
Yeah.
And so that was sort of the inspiration for teaming up Margaret and Leela as well, just to continue that. But it was just funny thinking about when they had that conversation, because of how far in advance the Fourth Doctor is recorded, they'd probably have been on Ravenous.
Yeah.
Like, while, yeah. I think it must have been David Richardson, while he was saying that,
Yeah.
The idea of Stranded was probably just forming in his head. So it's just funny when you look at these behind the scenes sometimes, there's a little time capsule, because these people talking to us right now have no idea about the pandemic that's coming for them.
Yeah. Mental.
It's great. It's one of those funny things when it comes to the Fourth Doctor Adventures in particular. So we're going to be soon hearing all the interviews about how amazing it is that Big Finish are able to keep recording during this time, and how these people are in their pajamas in their cupboards.
But that's a time capsule, though, isn't it? That's a time capsule to that time, you know.
I'd like to see a story in either Ireland or Australia, as we rarely go to those countries on TV. I mean, I think the only time we've been to Australia on TV would be Enemy of the World and Spyfall.
Yeah. I mean, Big Finish have done Australia a couple of times.
Yeah. I mean, is Butcher Brisbane, Australia?
Yeah, it's in Brisbane. And then it goes to Iceland. And then you have
that Ice Warrior story in Unit Nemesis.
Yeah, and then you've got Island in the Mark story. Is it Feast? Feast of I can't remember what the second story.
Oh yeah, Feast of Fear.
Feast of Fear. That's it. Yeah,
and Iterations of Iron on the Fifth Doctor one.
Yeah,
that one's a bit of a dodgy one actually, because there's only a couple of actual Irish characters in that, and they all end up being criminals. So maybe not the best Irish representation there, Big Finish.
Yeah.
Being unhappy with the script, something that wasn't rectified until the Eighth Doctor Ventures, as the later Eighth Doctor monthlies were just repurposed Divergent scripts. He also wasn't fond of. I see.
Yeah, Divergence is a bit of a rough ride. Yeah.
Oh, Dragonbug says he'd buy some channel merch. I think that's one sale.
There we go. Get some iconic tweets. Well, tweets, things, quotes. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Quotes. Stick on some merch.
Where can I buy my Stoned Pigeon Troughton and Dropkick a Child TV t-shirts?
Coming soon, basically. Coming soon.
Is that going to have Mel drop kicking a child?
She can.
While you're running off with B&M dollies.
Yeah.
Like that could be the t-shirt design.
You'll be surprised. That's very accurate.
Don't
Should we talk about
the
dollies?
Baby. Stephen says no dogs.
Oh dear. Should we talk about some dollies?
Yeah, we probably should.
Since that's why we're here.
Yeah, Stephen just said, right, I've got to go tomorrow. I'll try and write a reply to your Demon Song review. Also, listen to the podcast tomorrow. Good night. Thank you for sticking around with us, Stephen. I hope you have a good night.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed the BFI, the bar at least. All good stuff.
Yeah, we'll certainly look forward to what's going on the podcast.
Look forward to the reply as well.
Yeah. Oh, and also, for anyone in the chat who hasn't checked it out, Stephen put out a little trailer for his upcoming video over on his channel, where it's like Finding the First Doctor, I think it's called.
Yeah. I guess there's sort of history of a fan as well.
Let me just have a look. Yeah. Finding Hartnell.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. So that'll be a nice little video. And he's mentioned on the podcast as well that he got into some editing for that one as well, getting the visuals up. So
nice.
Yeah, look forward to seeing how all that comes together.
Yeah. That'll be my tomorrow sorted, really. Yeah. Cool. Big fan. Nothing but love and appreciation for Stephen here.
Yeah, there's a little he's got a little coming soon trailer for that up, and we'll have to wait and see when the whole video drops.
Oh, we're plugging
not dropping any hints there, Stephen.
Oh yeah, we'll plug.
And Daniel Hager says the Fifth Doctor to meet K9 in Big Finish. I would like to hear an audio. It may happen.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be fitting.
That'd be nice.
All creatures
be a nice
great.
what if.
He's been a vet,
yeah.
Not a dog.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
But yeah, figures.
Figures, dollies.
Been an hour, nearly.
It's been an hour. We've sort of had a nice little get the Big Finish out of our system. So
we've forgotten a Big Finish.
what is Big Finish?
What?
I don't know.
There's a Big Finish bit of news we forgot.
Oh, what is there?
Here we go. I'm sharing it. We can
You're sharing it. Oh, hang on. I've got to go on my laptop now. This is the joys. I'm going to have to switch technology. Bear with. We will be talking about bits of Doctor Who-shaped plastic.
Yeah, might as well get this out of the way first.
Get us out of the way.
Yeah.
Bear with. I'll just have to join. Talk amongst yourself.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I mean, we had a Robots trailer as well. Did you listen?
I did.
I mean,
yeah. Very good.
Yeah, nice little tease at the end there. Yeah,
yes. I remember
absolutely gorgeous 10th Doctor Chronicles cover.
Oof. Chef kiss.
I'm still not picking it up, but that is a gorgeous cover.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a dreg on the left there.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a shame that, we get this for, a narrated set by Jacob Dudman. And then, we get a bit of a clunker with the 10th Doctor Classic Companions set, which actually starred David Tennant.
Yeah. Not good, Chief.
No. But nevertheless, this is gorgeous stuff. And it's by the same artist who did Ninth Doctor Adventure Series 2.
Yeah, so I can see the
he's
start.
He's doing Series 3 as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully more of this, please. That is.
I think that'll be one way of getting us to go, I buy.
Yeah, I don't know now. Because
Ninth
Doctor covers have been pretty great.
Yeah, they have.
But this is something else.
Yeah.
And I think hopefully another thing with dropping the vinyl will be that, because those covers are made more for vinyl first and then done onto CD after, hopefully we'll be getting some more better looking covers on CD.
Yes, yeah.
Because I think with the size of the vinyl, they sort of make elements a bit smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, really good stuff.
Did you also want to mention what Katie Manning said at the BFI?
Yes, we can quickly mention that, and then we will talk about dollies.
Yes, we will.
Yes, because Katie Manning teased that there are spin-offs in the works, and she's a small cog in it. She doesn't want to be a regular thing, so we know that there is some things going on, really.
I mean, could it be unit-based? And then, you sort of could occasionally have a classic companion or even a new series companion guest star in that from time to time?
Yeah. I can see that.
I mean, so it's sort of the groundwork's laid there in Power of the Doctor.
Yeah.
So, that could be how we get more Jo Grant. Or maybe, I know Josh Snares, they did that video about their preferred Doctor Who spin-off, which was like a companion anthology series.
Yeah.
So, maybe that could be what's coming. Maybe that's how you get Jo Grant or Jo Jones involved for a one-off. But exciting stuff. And certainly interesting that she's somewhat privy to that as well.
Yeah.
And then one final bit of news, more on the negative side, sadly, is Ella Watts, who produced Series 1 of Doctor Who Redacted and really, got the ball rolling for that series, got off the ground. The BBC have ended up replacing her with James Goss. And no disrespect to James Goss, because he's done a lot of wonderful stuff, and I'm sure he'll do a great job with Redacted going forwards. But, it does feel a bit of a snub that you have a queer woman who's put a lot of time into this series, which has done very well representation-wise.
Yes.
And then she's been pushed aside and replaced by a man, really. and someone who does a lot anyway. James Goss has done so much stuff. He's doing so much stuff with Torchwood. He doesn't need another job. Yeah. So, I mean, Juno Dawson is still there, and you've also got the writer who did the Missy and Amy story.
Oh yeah.
From
Strange
Strange
Chemistry.
Chemistry. Let me just check what her name is. Carissa Hamilton Bannis. She's writing there. So yeah, there's still a good amount of representation within it, but yeah, it just feels odd, really, and a shame. Yeah. So for any of you who are into your Doctor Who Redacted, there's a bit of mixed news there, but also good news because I didn't know there was going to be a series 2.
No, I didn't either until you said.
I thought it was just a one-off thing, really, because it seemed to more be tied to the Christian or Jodie Whittaker era.
But it to be honest, it did. When I listened to it, it did lean quite heavy. It did have like an RTD flavour of Doctor Who. So
They
in a way,
tried to get Donna in it, didn't they? But they were told, no, you can't have her for reasons which are now quite obvious. So. I mean, the only hope would be that Ella Watts gets to go on to do something for the show itself.
Little Big Finish.
Or a different Doctor Who spin-off. Visual one, but I mean, given that it's her who's come out with a statement to say that she's been removed from it, it doesn't look like that's the case. Which, it's just a shame because it's not like she's done anything wrong because it was a huge success. People loved it.
Yeah, it was very good.
Oh, Stephen says, "Oh, that doesn't work, does it? Never mind." Power up. I'm assuming you tried to send the link to the video there.
Oh,
I think you might have to do that because
I'll see
you're
if I can approve.
Moderator.
I'll have a little look at that. But yeah.
I've sent you the link if you don't want to copy that over and post it. Whovian with a small collection. I can't work out if that's Stephen Noonan. It is indeed Stephen Noonan.
It is Stephen Noonan. We are
There's
blessed.
a little clip on Ben's shorts taken from the Big Finish podcast where he gives us a shout out. So it is definitely indeed Stephen Noonan.
Yes, we're very honoured.
Probably the easiest way to prove it.
Yes, yeah.
We weren't wondering amongst ourselves, is this really him up until that point?
Right. Right. I'll just load the link up and then I shall post it.
Joe Powell says Series 2 of Redacted wasn't officially announced, it got leaked. Oh, I think that might be how we know about the writer from Carissa Hamilton Bannis. I think it was through her CV or Spotlight, or no, not Spotlight because that's just actors, but some LinkedIn maybe. I don't know. Something there was where that got leaked through. The problem with the painted covers, this stylish one, is they should be there for extra creative freedom, not copying stock images, no matter what, even if the lighting is different at an awkward angle on the picture. Yeah, some of them come together very nicely. Some of them feel very awkward. I think, unfortunately, more often than not, they feel awkward and just a bit... Anyway, we will get this little link sorted out, and then figures at last.
Figures,
There's
yes.
nothing else. There's nothing else to distract us. Fairly
Um,
certain. Yeah, because I think we started on the news, and then we went down a Ninth Doctor Adventures rabbit hole. We got waffling,
yeah,
and then we forgot everything else pretty much.
but hey, we're here to talk about the figures now, so it's all good.
Yeah. It's okay. They've been behind you the whole time, so they're
Yeah,
technically
they're
a
here.
part of the whole video.
They're here.
We can get away with it.
So yeah, we can put a timestamp going. If you want Dolly talk, here it is. So I guess should we start where the Dollies began? Really,
Yeah. Let's go for it.
this has been a great resource, and I'm gonna plug these because these are great things, and I've become addicted to them because they cover literally everything. And if you like Doctor Who merch like me, you'll love these because it basically covers everything. Like if you were disappointed by the collectors on the Space Museum Blu-ray, don't worry. This has got you covered. This covers all the merch more in depth, so you can see the Louis Marks Daleks and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, recommend. So yeah,
they're like the first official Doctor Who action figures, aren't they? Really?
yeah. It's interesting that despite being called Doctor Who, the Daleks were the first thing to be capitalized on in the show. Like if you look at merch, Hartnell's barely there. It's Daleks.
Yeah. Would you say John Pertwee or Tom Baker is the first Doctor to really be the face of merch? Because Patrick Troughton was certainly a bit more, private with his life outside of Doctor Who, and so he wasn't necessarily a face for the show like Hartnell was. But even then, Hartnell wasn't the face of merchandise.
I would say it would be John, because you have like the Radio Times covers. He's the Doctor, what is literally on every Radio Times cover in the 70s.
Yeah, I'd say before that, Radio Times covers were more the monsters, weren't they?
Yeah,
like the Cybermen and the Tombs and such.
And then you had like the Sugar Puff things of like John on with like the little comics. So yeah, I would say John was that really. I think that's when it started. Not that there were figures in the like Pertwee era. It's not until when you get to I think 77, 78 when you have the Dennis Fisher stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there was that Genesis of the Daleks LP, wasn't there?
Yes.
And I think Tom Baker was pretty prominent on that cover.
Yeah.
So yeah, certainly it wasn't like the Daleks towering over that like it was in the 60s. Have you ever tried to get a Louis Marks Dalek?
No, I haven't. See, this is the thing. Dapol did reproductions in like the 80s and 90s. We'll talk about Dapol in a minute because I guess that's when the figures we all know from Doctor Who. But yeah, you had like a Clockwork Dalek as well in the 60s. Product Enterprise did those. But yeah, I've not got a Louis Marks Dalek at all.
Yeah. You weren't tempted to cover it in like glue then? We
no.
Recreate Planet of the Daleks.
So technically, it's a prop if you get it. Cause you're like, this is from Planet of the Daleks or Evil of the Daleks as well, because you can see them using. It's quite nice that Reniso did it as well.
Yeah, were they in Power as well?
I think they were the Hertz Dalek because I think Mike Tucker redid the conveyor belt scene for the special edition for the recon for it. Yeah.
I see.
But
so I suppose next up when it comes to action figures is the Fisher stuff, isn't it? Dennis Fisher.
Yeah, which very limited. It was Fourth Doctor, Leela, Cyberman, Dalek, K1, and a TARDIS. So you've got your main baddies. K1 still lingering in the public psyche, I guess. Maybe because he's a really cool design, so he
Yeah. Maybe it's a
holds up
bit of an
well.
easier one to make because it's less humanoid.
And I think that's probably why it stands out the best of the bunch.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Leela sort of has the look of almost a Bratz doll or something, doesn't she?
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
So with very big hair.
Very big hair.
Yeah,
Very big
like
hair indeed.
someone just brushing that with a knife.
But it's
Yes,
it's
I think.
interesting. Oh, go on.
Yeah. Did you on the behind the scenes of 10th Doctor Classic Companions in that first one? There's a nice little chat between David Tennant and Louise Jameson about that Leela doll.
Oh, is there? That's really nice.
I can't remember the exact details, but I think it was like he didn't get it at the time. I'm not
Okay.
sure whether he was sort of had the attitude of, "Oh, I'm a boy, I don't want a girl's doll," and then sort of regretted it and wanted it later, or if it was just a case of no one got it for him because they thought, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's a girl's toy, he won't want that," and he missed out. But nevertheless, he ended up getting it many years later.
Oh, bless.
I think it was on a TV show or something. They did. Like someone brought it
Oh,
over.
yeah. That rings a bell. That rings a bell.
And he got his
Bell.
Leela figure to complete the collection. But yeah, it was funny hearing him talk to Louise Jameson about that, and it's wonderful when you just get to hear David Tennant be a big old
Fan.
Doctor Who fan.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So around about that time, Kenner were launching their Star Wars figures, and this Star Wars is what changed the figure landscape. It's the most sold figures. I think Doctor Who's the second most sold figure line.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of because you have like some things which are almost more famous for figures like Transformers and GI Joe.
Yeah.
I'd have thought that would have. I mean, Star Wars being top, no
Yeah.
surprise at all there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Doctor Who being second, that does come as a bit of a surprise, especially given like how the state of it at the moment, I suppose. But I suppose maybe in 2005 to 2010, it got a big push there.
And
It was top in Toys R Us's.
Oh yeah, you had the
We'll get to
toys. We'll get to it. And I think we are going to see some form of resurgence. I think there are big plans for Doctor Who figures.
Fingers crossed.
But we've got a little while before we get to that, as we've got to talk about these fellas, Dapol or Dapal or whatever you want to call them, because because I guess Star Wars introduced like the 3.75 scale that you can do vehicles and playsets. So ideally, they're the perfect scale for action figures, and Doctor Who did that, and to varying success.
What kind of play sets did they put out, or did they not get around to that?
They just did like the TARDIS console
interior.
room.
The console room.
Console room, and obviously the TARDIS itself.
Yeah, that was like around season 24 time, which is an interesting time for figures to be coming out.
It was interesting because it was. I was reading what it said in the Chronicles magazine, and it said that there was a bit of a resurgence in terms of merch because there was like pajamas and that sort of thing happening. So it seemed like the merch was kind of there, but it was very niche, as it were. But there was still demand there for it. And it's interesting looking back why Dapol, because they were predominantly, and I think still are, known for making model trains. Yeah, so it's bizarre. I think Dapol probably were more successful with the monsters than they were with the Doctors, because they missed key things like why doesn't the Fourth Doctor have his scarf? I think that's one of the greatest mysteries in figure community.
Does it maybe come down to articulation?
I don't.
Like, do you put the scarf on there and then sacrifice the arm movement, or do you just pretend the scarf wasn't a thing?
I don't know really. And then the scale was all over the place. Like Pertwee towered over, as he should, because he's God. But it'd tower over all the other figures. Yeah, I know he's a tall man, but crikey.
It's a bit like the Capaldi of the
Yeah, literally
character.
is the capacity. He has that syndrome.
Mm.
But yeah, Daypol, it was all right for its time.
Did you
And
get
then
any?
I've
That's
got
very
a
good.
few I've got a few Daypol. I
Have you
have a
got a
few.
Meldo poll?
I don't. I
The
don't.
your
I
original
don't.
Mel.
The original Mel, you might say. No, I don't
Your
have.
Mel reviews, and it's just you holding the Daypole Mel.
I'd probably be dumped, to be honest, if I did that.
Yeah,
So
she's not a
yeah,
fan of body.
she's not a fan of Bonnie, bless her.
Yeah. Which ones
Yeah.
do you have then? Do you have your Daypole
I
Pertwee?
I've got Daypol Pertwee. I've got two Silurians. I've got the movie Dalek. I've got a McCoy and an Ace, a Tetrap, and a TARDIS.
Was this all 80s or did it go on into the 90s a bit?
It went on into because you had these rather groovy things, the Millennium Daleks, which were basically Daleks covered in glitter.
Oh.
You can look them up; they're kind of cursed. But yeah, I think that's when Daypol was sort of wrapping up early 2000s because they started to move into more figurine based with like Troughton and the Tomb Cyberman, and there was a prototype Hartnell and Yeti, but they never happened. And then I think Product Enterprise took their place, and I think Product Enterprise was the most accurate Daleks you could get on the market. And then this thing come back, Doctor Who, and they were like, "We need some figures." Character Options got the license, and then we can talk about these now. So,
yeah, I mean, going back to the Daypole stuff, was some of
yeah,
the Pertwee stuff more coming along in the 90s then? Because it sort of ties in with that Pertwee Renaissance.
yes, there was a lot of that because you got like the Delgado Master because you think they'd do Anthony Ainley. Since he is technically the current master, but obviously Delgado, part of that Renaissance.
Till Eric comes along.
And still has no figure.
Did Daypole do an Eighth Doctor or were they
No,
not?
they only did. I don't know if you class Hartnell because he's only a prototype, but they did 2, 3, 4, and 7. So yeah, you'd never get your 8 Doctors Daypole set because it never happened. Never happened.
I suppose it's sort of. I mean, Mr. Bonkcactus here mentions Daypole figures are crap, but there's something about them I like in a goofy way. It's that same reason that Star Wars still has that retro collection.
Yes, yeah.
You know, I mean, do you think anything like that could work for Doctor Who with character? I mean, I suppose, would you prefer that to the weird bobblehead Daleks and such? Would you prefer like an odds retro collection?
Yeah, because I think technically they did something like it. The Biff Pang Pow stuff was sort of a homage to like the Mega and Dennis Fisher stuff. But it'd be interesting to see if character did like a retro collection. But yeah, I don't think there are any plans for that.
No, I think so. When you're Star Wars big, you can sort of get away with doing these weird offshoots.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah. Doctor Who, it wouldn't survive Doctor Who Twitter, that's for sure.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't.
It gets slaughtered.
But yeah, should we talk about character options? Because I guess this is the figures we grew up on, as it were.
Yeah. Mr. Bonkcactus says to this day, character options stock price is going to go up when they make a Mel figure.
I can see it happening in a B&M set. I can see it happening.
They are making their way through the classic companions, but before we get to any classic stuff, they started off with new series.
Yes, they did.
Like, how long after that first series did or did they come out alongside?
I think it was a couple months after, because the reason why character got the gig was because they could make them the quickest. Because
who else
obviously
was competing.
I don't know if Hasbro was. Be interesting if they were.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe because they're more international and America based. That's why they couldn't get them made quicker. So that might be what gave character an advantage there.
But we'll talk about Hasbro in a bit because we can learn from the big Hasbro.
Yeah.
But yeah, they wanted them ready for Christmas 2005.
Of course. Yeah.
So yeah, so everyone could get their battle packs and their walkie-talkies, random merch, and remote control Daleks, really, which all got sent back on Boxing Day because they didn't work.
It's sort of easy to forget that figures are just a part of a much larger merchandising machine, because you do have so much weird stuff as well. Like, wasn't there water pistols back in at some point in Doctor Who history that was sort of Dalek
blasters,
or like Dalek repulsors or something, anti-Dalek gun, where it's just a water pistol, something like that.
And you had that weird thing where if you connected, you had to get an app for like this. It was like a Weeping Angel finger, Dalek eye, and like Cyber gun or something like that. And you had to get like an app to use it. It was some weird thing. It's Doctor Who tat.
Yeah, and I've got Battles in Time, of course, started up 2006, wasn't it, after Series 2? And that was another big part of our childhoods, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
That's something we haven't spoken about much.
No, we can do a stream on Battles in Time.
We could dig out our old collections.
Yeah.
Mine must be around somewhere.
I've got mine hanging around somewhere, yeah. We'll do that for a stream. We'll put that on the thing.
I think, if anything, that might be one of the ones I've got more almost sob stories for.
Yeah. Should we talk about first figures? What was your first figure you got?
You're testing my memory now.
This is the whole point of this stream. Let's go down memory lane, Let's enjoy. Chat, what was your first figure?
Yeah,
what was your first figure? Let us know what's your first figure, your favourite figure, and your least favourite figure. Let's get that going.
Destroyed Cassandra seems to be floating around the chat at the moment. Not as a first figure, but just as what on earth is this?
Yeah. See, Destroyed Cassandra happened because of Woolworths. Because, Doctor was Chad then, wasn't it? It was all over the place. We've mentioned Toys R Us. It was on this massive billboard. It was at the height, really.
Yeah. It's sort of, there's demand more for figures than there was actual characters to work as figures. Whereas now it's the opposite.
It's going back to Battles in Time. You knew every character, even the supporting artist in that show, because of Battles in Time. It's like Mr. Crabtree. I don't think he was ever referenced in Idiot's Lantern, but somehow I know that guy's Mr. Crabtree from Idiot's Lantern because of Battles in Time.
I suppose it's that Star Wars-ification, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where a lot of things like that help people know background characters. So many of the Cantina merchants and the infamous thing with Forlom and Zuckus.
With the wrong
they got the names wrong on Kenner.
Yeah.
And that's sort of a joke that's continued to this day. Pair it up with Laszlo and Grandma Connolly. Of course they did the old woman without a face as a figure.
Yeah. I mean, it makes use for Evelyn Smythe. We could get an Evelyn Smythe out of it.
Have they still got the mould lying around?
Maybe.
Or what about a Professor Rumford?
Oh, yeah, they could do. Maybe. Could do a Rumford.
Just thinking old women.
Old women, yeah.
We could have just a set of old women where it's all the same heads. Get Amelia Dupont from Caesar Doom in there as well. I know who's one of Tom's other ones. Mrs. Tyler from Imogen Vendal.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't even think she has the right hairstyle for it, but so there's your very deep cut set of figures.
Deep cut. I mean, that'll be a character options online exclusive because
So you have to put a secret code in to get that on.
Yeah.
That's how exclusive it is.
Yeah, you have to scan a QR code at like some weird back street. You know,
Under the table, dodgy dealings to get that.
literally. Yeah. Where's Grandma Conley? Oh, she's at the back. It's fine. She can live her best life there.
And I mean, if they ever get a Sapphire and Steel license,
Yeah,
they've got that
that's
as well.
true.
As an
That
option.
is true. That is true.
If there's ever any demand for Sapphire and Steel figures, they can start
knows?
with the faceless man there. But yeah. Anyway, back to character options. Doctor Who. What would my first figure be? I'm thinking it might be something basic like a David Tennant figure.
I think that's a safe bet. Bet.
I think I've probably got a couple of them kicking up there in the loft somewhere. I really need to go up and get them down at some point.
I think he's the most sold figure, I think, David Tennant, in terms of character options, Arsenal.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I think it's what I'm pretty sure I got a duplicate from where, like, you know,
Yeah.
you have a birthday party and a friend's parent thinks, okay, what do they like Doctor Who? We'll get this one.
Yeah.
And of course, it's going to end up being one you've already got, but you can't complain. You can't blame them.
No. Because you're like,
so,
that's fine.
Yeah.
And you might not have it because there's like a million David Tennant figures. So there's a safe bet. It might be one you don't actually have.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I got the classic Series 2, you know, brown coat, the coat over the brown waistcoat, and then the coat and the flop down hair. Pretty sure I've got that a couple of times. And obviously, he was in the multi-packs a lot as well. So you build
Yes, yeah.
I think I might have the glasses one, I'm not sure. The 3D glasses.
Or from I think that's a Doomsday set, yeah.
Yeah, I know I got the Arc, Genesis Arc. I know I got that. And the Cold
That was
Scar
a
as
great set because you could actually put a Dalek in it, you know. Really cool.
Did I don't know if I ever got the Cyber Controller in the chair. I know I got a few Cybermen, but
I don't know if that was like a Toys R Us or Woolworths exclusive for Cyberthrone. Can't remember.
Yeah, I think that might have been one of those ones that I always wanted but never quite managed to get. Yeah, and then I swear I got some Sontarans. I know I got Davros and the Red Supreme.
Yeah.
And what else was in that set?
Crucible Dalek and a Tenant.
Yeah, there's another Tenant.
There we go, another Tenant.
Yeah. Yeah, these are all sitting up in a box somewhere in my loft. Probably under about 10 other boxes, most likely. But it'd be interesting going up and finding those at some point.
Yeah, should do it, really.
Yeah, just to see. Because it's funny, I don't remember exactly everything I have, so... Because it was sort of like, you know, it's one of those things that I faded away from, really. And then got more into Lego specifically when in like the toy area, and so that sort of took over. So Doctor Who figures just got shoved to one side really for quite a while. But yeah, I remember the Krillitane.
Yeah,
I got that one, and the wings snapped off or at least one of the wings did, and I sort of couldn't. You can't really have just one wing on there, so the other wing had to go as well.
Yeah.
But, you know, in my head, I was sort of thinking, you know, Krillitanes, they're a species that adapt a lot. They change their form. They got their wing, like I think they said in the story, the wings were the most recent addition, didn't they?
Yeah.
And so my logic was, this is the Krillitanes before they got their wings. Don't look at the holes in the back. This is the Krillitanes before they got their wings. And that was sort of, you know, for play there when that was how I worked that figure in still, despite being broken. But it's funny the way your mind works when you're a child like that, and you can just, you know, put those things aside.
You see, things like articulation and detail don't really matter as a kid for you because you don't see the flaws of it. because you just see the character. Whereas now, because with Sadgit, you're like, oh, it doesn't move, you can't pose him right, or you can't do that. Well, that doesn't look like so and so.
Like that original Dalek mold was very off, wasn't it? I think was that
Yeah.
because they did the mutant reveal Dalek, and they sort of
No,
built.
no.
Ah,
The mutant reveal Dalek was 2007 when that was when they started branding the figures as Series 1, Series 2, Series 3.
I see. So it was all like a flashback figure or sort.
Yes, somewhat. I think because they were just going off photos for the Dalek. They didn't actually have access to like the prop, so they couldn't properly measure it as such. So they were just going off the images. Hence why we get some chunky Daleks at the beginning of the character options line until 2008 when we get the more accurate Dalek sculpt or the newer Dalek sculpt. It seems wrong to call it newer sculpt, but you know what I mean.
Is it the latest sculpts?
Yeah, it's the latest sculpt for them.
I see. Oh, so I probably have some of those kicking around actually if I've got the Red Supreme. I thought it wasn't until a lot later that they upgraded the sculpts, like for 2013 or something. Or did they do a third?
They see the thinner Daleks, or the more accurate sculpts, I should call them, not the Fatleks. They
Excuse me, the Fatleks.
Fatleks. That's their nickname, Fatleks, because they're fat Dalek. Yeah, all right. Maybe
you're not getting confused with Alpha Centauri without
no. Different thing there. But yeah, the Crucible Dalek was the in 2008 was Supreme, and then it wasn't until 2010 when you got your actual Plunger Dalek, the Progenitor Guardian. They branded it as, and that was the only time you could get that Dalek with a plunger gold until I guess the B&M stuff and the sound effects Daleks back in 2012 and 2014.
There was an Asylum set, wasn't there?
Yeah, that was 2014. So that story's 2 years old, and you're finally getting figures. But I guess we can talk about the decline of character, because we're in the heydays at the minute. We're having nostalgia.
Was 2008 the peak?
I would say so, because you have the start of the classic figures. With K1 Builder figure,
Did that sort of come around the same time as well? That Battles in Time. We're getting into classic. Who with the,
yes?
Is it Monster Invasion?
No,
Monster something, isn't it?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
it's the purple one. Annihilator,
Devastator.
Invader. Oh, Devastator. Is Invader the Series 4 one?
I don't know. Because I never got.
Anyone in the chat who remembers Battles in Time? Do you remember what the classic Who one was?
Cause I never got the classic one, much to my shame. Because it was like, do you want those or do you want figures? And I chose figures.
I can't. I think I might have been. I remember I used to like put the posters up on my wall, and then you have like a different color for each rarity, because you had the little bots to tick when you've got them. I'd sort of do that, and like red would be ultra rare or whatever, and go through it like that. And then I'm pretty sure there was a couple of times I used the wrong color and had to like color over it. It looks awful.
Oh no!
Too much. Yeah. Okay, what were they?
But yeah. But yeah,
Annihilator, Invade, Ultimate Monsters.
There we go. Ultimate Monsters.
And Devastator was
Series 4.
Series 8. Yeah, Series 4, 2008.
But yeah, I think that was probably the big time for character, wasn't it? Launching like classic figures, because it was a great first wave of figures to launch.
I mean, you had the Fourth Doctor, and I think was it Pyramids of Mars Fourth Doctor as well?
No, it was season 12, Tom.
I see. Yeah. I mean, if you have any classic Doctor to start with, it's obviously going to be the Fourth, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Once and Future's doing the same thing even now.
Yeah.
Things haven't changed that much.
They know it's good. And then I think there's a nice mishmash that first wave because you're getting your doctors like fifth and sixth doctor. So doctors that didn't have figure representation before were finally getting that, which was really cool for them.
Was Time Crash Fifth Doctor before that came along or after the classic figures started?
Time Crash set came out, I think, like a couple weeks before Wave 1 dropped, hence why everyone was buying the Time Crash set because it had a fifth Doctor with Celery.
Ah, yeah, and that got left off the original figure.
Because it's a Castrovalva fifth Doctor, apparently. Like that matters, you know.
There's one way around it.
That's one way of going. Should just own. But I think it was Al Jawar saying, "I didn't like the salary. I didn't need it." So he's putting his own personal bias there. But it's like you can't do that.
Yeah, it's something that I think has repeatedly occurred over the years when it comes to character. Al Jawar maybe putting some of his own personal preferences a bit too much in there. I mean, you sort of have to have that thing of, he's the one calling the shots. He's made it to the top.
Yeah,
you got to have rank has its privileges. Like the 8Zs. You get some bonuses in there, but you can't just go against the tide of what pretty much everyone else wants.
Because I think you really get to see Al's personal preference in like the 70s stuff. So you can see like the Tom stuff. Like you look how full the 70s stuff is compared to like the 80s. There's nothing.
But to be fair, at the same time, you also got to look at demand in that same vein.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the 70s monsters, are probably the most iconic. Like the mummies and such. So maybe that's.
But everybody wants a Candyman, you know? Everybody wants that.
I mean, there may be some other issues as to why they can't make one of those, though.
True. But yeah, I think there's some cool 80s, like Hemovores, I think they've been talked about. They were going to be done in 3.75, weren't they?
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
I would have been mad especially because they didn't really have that many classic. It was only Daleks. They didn't even get around to 3.75 Doctors.
I think that was the plan for the next set, because I think it was going to be the Missy 8th Doctor from Night of the Doctor and a couple of Daleks.
Movie Daleks, wasn't there?
Or Mechanist Daleks.
Yeah, Mechanist Daleks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the next wave. Like, it got shown at Toy Fair, but it never made it to shelves, did it?
I think some people have got the prototypes of them.
These things always get out there.
Yeah, but we spit on 3.75 here. dirty things. We don't like 3.75.
They sort of did those weird cardboard sets, didn't they?
Yeah.
Instead of, let's save that a little bit, because that's 2013, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Came on with those. Where are we at? 2008 still, I think.
Yeah. So I guess 2009 is, I guess we can start to see not a decline, but a shift in the market for the figures. As Doctor Who wasn't on our screens.
I think with less prevalence there, it does sort of, kids need that constant feed of it. And so without that, you don't have that same push to want to go and buy something. Like they must have seen spikes in sales during the series. Like when you're seeing these characters and these monsters every week for 13 weeks, it's going to be on your mind. You're going to be more likely to walk past one in a shop and grab your mum's hand and go, "Oi, buy it."
Because the thing with that is, character would launch the current series of figures alongside sort of the halfway mark. So you'd have that sort of, not lull point of the series, but you'd have that sort of, oh, those are cool figures. Let's check out what Doctor Who is, really.
Yeah.
So it'd be a great way of sort of boosting it.
Dragonbug says Series 12 really does feel complete for figures now. And Joe Bowers said, except for a Wirren and Nida.
I think the Wirren can be made as a rotocast. I think the
Yeah.
Wirren is an easy one to do.
I mean, it's
yeah.
kind of bizarre that you got a Fendal, but not a Wirren.
And I think a Wirren's more iconic than a
Yeah.
Fendaline.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Drashig, that makes sense.
The Drashig's a real fun novelty thing. I mean, that's 2011. We're nearly there. Being a hand puppet, but I guess we can diverge a bit.
Yeah. I mean, what were you saying about 2009 then with the dip?
Yeah, 2009. So we sort of a show on and off with David Tennant going. So I guess it was sort of squeaky bum time whether Doctor Who will last if with the changeover from Smith, because there was that thing about Doctor Who will end with David Tennant.
Yeah, I suppose it was sort of hedging their bets a bit with figures.
Yeah, and this is when Forbidden Planet entered the frame and begun sort of the exclusives. So I guess more premium price, £25 for 2 figures. So you'd have the launch of the first, second Doctor, third Doctor that year, regenerated sixth Doctor, black and white sets, real time sixth Doctor, the adventure set for the fourth Doctor. What else did you have in 2009? I think that was it. I think. So a good year for classic figures. It was a good way of bulking out. Oh yeah, Dalek Collector set 2. That's what I forgot.
Is that which one? Is that the hardest to get one, or the?
It was really hard to get until I think 2012 when B&M got a load. Because B&M got a load of Dalek Collector set 2 and Age of Steel sets, and they were selling them for like £10. So bargains.
Yeah, I think that's the one with the without the Planet Supreme, isn't it? So
that's
I've got
Day of the Daleks, Saucer Pilot, and Emperor Guard.
Yeah, that's the one. I've got that currently to the left of me.
Nice.
Yeah, like the classic ones are down here still. The ones I got as a child are still up in the loft. That's sort of if I bought them as an adult myself, they're here with me. If I bought them as like a present as a child, they're up in the loft. Is the way it works.
Yeah. I mean that is a thing with the figures, as you can see, they take up a lot of room, and I guess there comes a point where you have to pick what I want on display, and I guess maybe rotate stuff, so it feels fresh. I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose.
But yeah. But I guess the Food and Planet stuff was sort of the decline because you're kind of alienating a big portion of your market, and I guess that's when it really shows that it's more of an adult collector line than it is for what you'd get mass retail in like Tesco's and Sainsbury's, because you'd get Series 4 figures in Tesco and Sainsbury's. Wild time figures were everywhere.
I think it is just a shift in action figures in general. I think it's not just Doctor Who. Like a lot more action figures now are made for adult collectors. Really.
Yeah.
With that in mind. Yeah. And I suppose that part of the reason why they went for 3.75 inch.
Yeah.
Because it was an attempt to grab the younger demographic again with something that's easier for them to play with, cheaper for them to get. Yeah, it was marketed on TV again, wasn't it?
Yeah, you got the advert of a time zone play. I guess there's more creativity in the scale, like I said earlier, but you can have these play sets, even though they're not really play sets because it's just cardboard and they never sort of stuck together that well.
They were bizarre.
I mean, I never got them.
Yeah, I thought Saw them around. And it's like, yeah, not gonna
Yeah,
spend my money on those.
you just knew it was tap.
Mm. I mean, at the same time, you had the character building series,
Yeah, yeah.
which
I
went.
never got into those for knockoff Legos.
Mm, I got some of them, but yeah, they're an odd bunch. I think again there was like some stuff that they previewed and then never got around to releasing.
Hmm. I think the character building lasted. I think right up until like Series 8 because they did like a wave of the 12th Doctor and Clara,
Yeah, they definitely
and they
did
did
some Capaldi stuff.
they did like Time Squad as well, which is like a little precursor to that,
Uh,
where they
it's
were like
bizarre.
tiny figures.
Yeah. It was more about the figures, I'd say, than the play sets, really.
Yeah,
Particularly because you had a lot of like blind mystery bags.
yeah,
Was the way to go.
you were cashing in on that.
Yeah. But that has the whole advantage of, you can get more sales from that as people try to get the whole set and end up with a double.
Yeah, because I only got when I did get character building it was just I got two Amy's and I was like I am not happy.
Oh. I know. I got a one of the ones where it was a 12 doctors, or it might be 11 doctors. I can't remember. But like a blind pack where it's got all the different doctors in, and I ended up with Colin in his blue
Oh,
coat,
oh,
and it's
nice.
like I had.
You're like I don't want this one.
It's a shame, but
Okay,
it's just what it is.
okay.
Especially because that was probably before I even got into Big Finish, so it was like, why do I want this?
You're not even the Colin Baker I know and love. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh man.
I'm actually really nostalgic for those smaller figures. They were my figures, and those adverts were pure nostalgia.
We'll get to people at some point. We'll get to
I mean,
them.
are we at it now, really?
Yeah, I
Or is
guess.
because we sort of like
Yeah.
reached the declining point. Series 6 had some interesting figures. And it just seemed to,
You had the weird gimmick of the flesh goo
yeah.
and characters. What you had like the Ganga Doctor come with a Ganga mask. I'm like, what's the point of giving him a Ganga mask when he's already a Ganga? Weird.
I think they expected Gangas to catch on more than they did.
Yeah, oh my god, I hate that two-parter.
Was that was possibly the split in series as well? What
Maybe that's
dampened it a bit because obviously you can't quite launch it halfway through. Yeah, by the time the figures drop the series over.
Yeah, that's a point. That's a point.
Maybe that's it. But yeah, certainly it went on to decline for a while, and then it went more high price. I think like it was
Yes.
20 quid for like they did 4 different Capaldis, didn't they?
Yeah, they marketed the Capaldis as sort of the collector's line. That's when everything seemed very. I guess Missy was the launch of that because
Yeah, she was online exclusive, and it was going to be like Jamie and Tegan were perhaps up next, weren't they?
yeah, they did like a poll, and I think this is going to be a little talking point later of what characters should do because Hasbro does it, and I think it's a good thing for them to do like polls and HasLabs, and yeah, we get into that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Joe Bowers is surprised we never got an Amy figure with the Series 6 waves.
yeah, you
Amy
think
Ganga.
with Big Pro Amy Ganga, yeah. I mean, we did get like a little young Amelia in it, which felt really bad paying like 10 quid for. But yeah, mental times. But yeah, the 3.75 happened. That wasn't fun.
Wasn't there like an Auton double set? Like you had 2 of them in the same set, and it was the standard price.
Yeah, you had yeah, it was like 2007. That was the same age as a Mutant Reveal.
But it's just funny comparing that where you get 2 normal size figures together, and then you get Amy on her own.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only 5 years later. Or not even
It,
4 years later, even.
yeah, it's just mental that how quickly that sort of decline happened, really.
Yeah. So it does sadly seem to all come down to Russell Davis leaving in a way. I don't know
Maybe.
how much he really had control over that, but yeah.
So I think Series 5 was all right for figures. I think there was a nice balance. You know, you had the Paradigm Daleks.
Yeah, they
Everything was sort of.
certainly feel not designed for toys
They're very
as such,
toyetic.
but they very much lean into that side of things.
Mm.
Similar to how when you're watching Mandalorian and you see a red stormtrooper or a yellow stormtrooper come along, you're thinking, there we go.
Yeah, you're like, there we are. This is going to
Yeah.
be the merch, you know.
Anyway.
Yeah, because you like going back to sort of the Missy and the Capaldi's and that. The packaging was designed to be collector friendly, that you can reseal the figures in the box and you can have it out on display.
Yeah, it's no longer a blister card, is it?
Yeah.
It's basically what the Black Series ended up doing as well, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. It pretty much is that. But the figs were sort of few and far between. So when you did get those four Capaldi's, it was like, I've got to buy these because if I don't buy them, we're not supporting the line. And if we don't support the line, we're not going to get the stuff we want. And I think that motto has been challenged, I think, especially last year. Because I might be a character option shill, and but there are some times when you're like, I can't defend that.
Yeah. I suppose it's like as well for you. You've already got so many of them. It's like it would just be almost wrong not to pick up. There'd always be that glaring gap to you.
Yeah, and I think last year really tested me of like, do I really want a 3 David Tennant figures?
Especially
Again,
with the effort of going to hunt them down.
See, I was saying this with James when we were looking for the winter wave, that summer wave, my heart wasn't in it because I didn't really want the figures bar the Daleks. But there's that mindset of I need them because I'm in this completist mindset, and secondly, I want to make content on them and go, look, these are, don't buy them. I've spent that money, so you don't have to. But
I mean,
yeah,
brilliant. If you waited, you could have got them for cheaper online,
yeah,
like
could
just
have got
cheaper
it.
in store as well.
Yeah, could have got it cheaper, but it's just that fact of I knew they weren't going to sell out, but it's because you've kind of got that toxic mentality of going, I don't really want to, hunt for these for that long. I just want to get it done and so finished it.
Yeah. Especially when you've got that hunt at first, as they're initially coming out with them, they seem more rare than they actually end up being.
And then the Daleks are just like gold dust, and you just see thousands of McGanns and Tennants, and you're like, it's just mocking me at this point. Horrible. And yeah, I'm all for like finding stuff out in the wild, but that was the first time where I'm like, I just don't like this anymore. The quest is not fun.
Yeah, it's like the treasure at the end isn't as rewarding as it should be for the effort you put in.
Yeah, because it's a figure from 2006 being released in 2022, and you're just like, it just doesn't hold up. It's not what an action figure should be.
We'll go more into Star Wars: The Black Series shortly.
Yeah.
But if they released a figure, like a repaint of a figure from 2018 even now, they'd get slaughtered.
Yeah, they would get butchered. But because we Doctor Who fans have been starved and we know what it's like not having them, I think we have that really crap mentality of it's better than nothing.
Yeah, and I think as well, just with the B&M figures,
Hmm.
it's maybe that the quality hasn't increased that much since 2006.
There's been
Like,
new innovations like ball joints for them,
yeah,
but there's with the Black Series, there's been innovations like with photoreal butterfly joints, and whereas I think there's a consistency with the Doctor Who figures which matches Doctor Who because there's a cheapness to character, but I like it
yeah,
because it matches Doctor Who. You
mm,
know,
yeah. But so if you have a figure from like 2000, whatever, 2006 with those tenant figures, and you have them alongside your, I'd say, I suppose like Capaldi is probably the most recent, like really new stuff. Because suddenly you've
yeah,
had innovations within B&M, but a lot of it
yeah,
is reusing what has come before, and then the occasional new mold, like a head or something.
yeah,
Yeah, and so with that, you can like if you get it in your hands and start playing with it, you move the arms out and such, you can notice there is that step up there. But just having them side by side, just looking, I don't think you see that much
yeah.
difference.
There's not much change to it, and
Yeah.
it's a
Whereas
bit
if you grab a
yeah,
Star Wars figure from 2006 and
mm-hmm.
put it next to one now, it'd be night and day.
Yeah, which is a shame, really. You know,
Mm. Uh, I mean, maybe times are changing.
times are changing, um, but the thing is with like a Black Series is it's priced at what 25 quid. A B&M set's 22, so you're getting basically three figures for the price of one Black Series, and you still have
Mm.
change to get some sweets if you want.
Yeah, like so. Is it 22 now, or is it gone? Is it going up a bit more?
It might be going up a bit more, but the last wave was 21 quid.
Yeah. But yeah, so you get what you pay for, though, don't you? In both cases, like even though they are low quality compared to other ranges out there, like Star Wars Black Series, you
Yeah,
nevertheless are getting a fairly good deal with what you're paying for, at least. Like what,
yeah.
22 quids? That works out to just over £7 a figure.
Which is what you were
Yeah,
paying for them mass retail when it was like 2006, seven, really.
yeah.
So
I
in that
said
way, it's
maybe
great.
is it. Yeah, maybe is it because if they were to come up with new molds now, there
Mm.
is that expectation that they meet these modern day standards with figures. Whereas, if you're getting a figure that is a reuse of older molds, you sort of accept its setbacks of, being a 2006 figure because it literally is one.
Yeah,
Could they get away maybe with doing a 2006 style mold, but a brand new one?
I mean the 14th Doctor's kind of that
It's not like
because it's
hybrid,
used.
isn't it?
Yeah, because it's using the 10th Doctor legs, which is 2006, but it's amalgamation of the new engineering of like the ball. I say new engineering. Ball joints aren't that new for character, but it's the latest thing for them, really.
Yeah, it's like the latest step they got to.
Yeah,
And I mean, it's a shame that they can't go back and add ball joints to, older because you could get Pertwee with his hands on his
yeah.
hips at last if they had ball joints. But
I mean, I'm gonna quickly swap phones because this phone's gonna die. I'll be back in a minute. But
okay,
I
I'll
guess
have
do you want
a.
to? I'll let you dive into the chat, and then we'll dive into Black Series. Cause I think that's a good sort of transitional point about. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. See you in a
Okay,
second.
see you in a minute.
Ben will be back when he's sorted that out. But yeah, just have a look at what everyone's saying here. Where was it? Yeah, Stylish One said, "Comic Tenants harkens back to the days of a random variants. Where's my Time Lord 11th Doctor comic cover variant?" Yeah, I mean, certainly it seems that the 11th Doctor hasn't got much love recently with the figures, I don't think. Yeah, it's been a while. You just know they were kicking themselves when the new outfit was announced like a week later. Oh yeah, it is funny that the Tennant figures came along all together, and then suddenly you got the 14th Doctor, who was Tennant again, of course. Dragonbug said the comic version of Tennant, or whatever to call him, is an abomination. Oof, harsh words, but yeah, I can't defend it. What else are people saying? Oh, getting some Big Finish chat here. Hoovian with a small collection says McQueen Master would be so easy, not gonna lie. Yeah, that would be pretty easy, really. You got loads of figures that have the suit and tie. Just throw a bald head on that. I'm sure there's someone who's got a bald head in the I mean, Auton maybe. I don't know. Yeah, probably pretty easy to come along with something like that. And yeah, at least the Jodie era has some decent figures. Yeah, I find it interesting actually that there has been a lot of complaints about the Jodie and Trish Chibnall era in particular suffering when it comes to action figures available. But when you look at the collection compared to what the 12th Doctor had, 13th Doctor era does have more actually. I know there's websites out there that have whole lists of every single figure put together, and there's some wonderful archives that you can go and find and enjoy. Ooh, here he is. He's back.
Hello.
Hello. Ooh, you're a bit quiet, but I don't know if that's just because you've not got the headphones in yet.
Probably. I can't put my headphones in because I'm charged. Unless I switch again.
Okay, up to.
Oh, give me a sec.
Okay, see you in a sec. Shame we never got a Yeti figure. It's my most wanted from the Troughton era. Yeah, that seems like that would really be a centerpiece of a Troughton collection, really, wouldn't it? Especially now that you've got the Abominable Snowmen Troughton as well. It feels like the next logical step, really. Either that or a Jamie, I'd say. Ooh, separate Big Finish praise. This time, actual Big Finish, not Big Finish in figure form. Hoover Small Collection says also finished the Bernie Summerfield Volume 3 Unbound Universe set today. It was perfect. Perfect. That is one I bought ages ago and did the first did the first story. Took about a year break, got to the second story, and then never finished. I don't know why it was. Maybe that's one to get around to finishing eventually, but yeah, that one took me a while, or is currently taking me a while. It's been, 2016 that one must have come out. Oh, if only we can get a Wheel in Space Cyberman set with Wheel Cybermen, Jamie, and Zoe. Or two Wheel Cybermen and Zoe to recreate that shot, the publicity shot of them menacing her, as they put it. Yeah, it's funny the way, when you're younger and you see publicity shots like that, particularly in, books like what's the Monsters and Villains, I want to say it's called. Yeah, I think that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, when you see them use that image to represent the wheel in space, and for ages you have this image built up in your head that, oh, this is a scene that happens somewhere, and it seems quite terrifying. Zoe just standing there with two Cybermen coming up behind her, and she's oblivious to it. But no, it turns out it was just a publicity shoot. It's not even in the actual story. Yeah, I'm sure there's quite a few other examples of that where the memory cheats in a way. Yeah. I could see a wheel Cyberman coming in the next few years. I believe in it, hopefully, because it's like the last Cyberman to complete. At least a classic lot, because you're still missing. I mean, you're still missing a 5-inch Nightmare in Silver one, because they did do a 3.75, which I think had unusually big eyes, if I remember. A little bit of a boggly-eyed Cyberman there, but yeah, certainly you're missing your Nightmare in Silver Cybermen, your World Enough in Time. Oh, he's gone again. World Enough in Time and the Doctor Falls, like Mondasian Cyberman and Cyber Warrior still as well. So there's certainly some cyber variants that still need to come along. They also haven't done a Dalek drone from Revolution of the Daleks, actually, because they have a close enough model with the Resolution, like Scrap Dalek, the Scout. But yeah, they still haven't done a Revolution one. But I think also what slowed them down a bit there is that the current or the previous production team didn't release as much details. So, it was difficult to make figures in advance. Whereas before, we like back in 2000 and, the Rusty Davis era, you would have those figures dropping partway through. Now that's just not possible because they were so concerned about leaks that they didn't do that. Thoughts on the 3.75 Ice Warrior out of armor? Ben, you're back. You've come
I'm
back to an
back.
interesting question there. What are your thoughts on that?
Skaldak,
Mm.
it wasn't a figure, it was just a bit of flimsy rubber.
Uh,
I have no strong feelings on it. I don't have it.
is it
I
possible?
can. I don't know.
Is it possible to do upscales of those molds, like the Nightmare Cyberman and the Ice Warrior? And the
Yeah,
Zygon, actually.
yeah, because they did it for McGann and Missy, I think.
Were they upscales or were they downscales there? Did they start out 3.75 or start out 5-inch?
I think it was a mix of both, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, because it certainly can get a bit deceptive when you look at those 3.75-inch ones and you think, wait, is that the 3.75-inch or is that the 5-inch when it comes to some of those?
Yeah.
Joe Bowers, Aldewar was at the BFI last week and was speaking to people, but I unfortunately didn't get the chance to speak to him. It's a shame, Joe.
Yeah, I think he was letting slip about certain things coming up.
He must have been on the drink there a bit.
Must have been on the drink going, I'll tell you what dollies are coming out. But yeah.
In honour of me getting drunk, we're doing sloshed bradders.
Slosh bradders, yeah, there we go.
Remember how Dalek Rabe was printed on some merchandise because the name was changed so late?
Yeah.
Was the name Rabe mentioned in like dialogue then? But because it's Nick, it's a voiceover. They were able to get him in to re-record that.
I don't know. It was on Battles in Time, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
Why did? Because I remember a friend of mine who was also a big Doctor Who fan had a sister called Rabe, so he always used to joke.
Yeah. Okay.
He always used to say his sister was a Dalek. But yeah, it's funny how that it deceives you as well, doesn't it? Because you're sort of like expecting it. It was Jast, wasn't it? Ended up being instead.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Did they ever give a reason for why?
I don't know. No idea.
Did they think Sex and Rabe together were a bit
maybe, I don't know.
dodgy?
Yeah, I can see where you're going with it. But yeah, back to dollies, I guess.
Yeah, here we go. And do we want to talk some Black Series then? Because this is I say recent. It's been a year or just over a year now for you because you got your first one on your 24th birthday.
Yeah.
You're now a week from your 25th.
Yeah.
And the collection's grown considerably.
It's grown considerably. It's interesting getting the Black Series because when the Warriors of a Deep Set was announced, there was a lot of hoo-ha about why aren't we getting recent media characters in the form of like Sacha Dhawan's Master, the Fugitive Doctor, and yet we're getting Silurians from like 1983, 84. Why? I was very happy with it because Silurians are great. We've not had them in the 5-inch figure line. Great to have them. So you can see the argument is there. Why aren't we getting current media? And there was a lot of discourse about give the license to Hasbro
I mean, something
Don't.
we mentioned earlier as well about Aldoir's preferences playing a
Yeah.
part there. Maybe that's what comes into it. I was also
Mhm.
mentioning while you were sorting out the phone, there's also the fact that character just didn't get many details about the new series. Like, whereas
Yes.
because so many things were shut out of the production in fear of spoilers,
Mm.
and so by the time they got details of well, they had to watch the show to see them to work out what they want to make figures on, and by then
Mm.
it's almost too late just because of how long that production process is.
Yeah, because they've missed that sort of window to get it out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um. So getting into the Black Series by accident. um, uh,
accident in quotation marks.
Accident quotation marks, and then I've just fallen down the rabbit hole even further.
Yeah, it was a
Um,
slippery slope for you, wasn't it? Because it started off as, oh, I'll just get these ones. Oh, I just want a proper Mando. Ooh. And then
well,
from there,
it was a case of Mel got me Beskar Mando,
mm,
cool figure, love him to bits. And then you can't have Space Dad without Space Son, so you get Grogu and you're like, oh, this is cool. And then you go on Amazon and you say, oh, they're quite cheap, I'll pick up a few. And then Kenobi happened, and I was like, I really
mm,
like Kenobi, so I dived
yeah.
into that.
Wasn't it the
And
pram next, wasn't it, as well?
yeah, I
Like you
got
got
Muddy
the
Mando.
Mudhorn, yeah, for the
Yeah, because I
pram.
wanted the pram so Grogu could have a place to go.
Mm,
um, yeah, and I think that's when you realise the potential of what an action figure can be.
yeah.
Because the innovation, I think, especially when you get to a figure like you have this figure, Ahsoka, where you have a butterfly joint, which is basically a joint that goes inwards like that. Just the mechanics of this is great because you have like a pinless look to a figure,
Mm,
like the knees, like it's all hidden because of the baggy trousers. And I just think the engineering, what goes into a Black Series figure, it shows you the potential of what an action figure can be. And I
yeah.
think sadly, character haven't got that really.
I mean, from a distance, or even sometimes not even that, like up close, they just look like the character shrunk down, don't they?
Yes, with the photo reel, that looks like Rosie Dawson. I don't know if the camera will focus on these, but it, incredible
Yeah.
likenesses to these people.
Mm, yeah. And also, with a lot of that articulation, it also affords more posability.
Mm,
And they are often well balanced as well. Whereas with a Doctor Who figure, you're very limited when it comes to your posing. Like, yeah, you can move your legs and your arms, but you can't really move the legs without it having to be perfectly balanced. Otherwise, it's going to fall.
yeah, because
Sometimes,
if we have a 14th Doctor figure, it can't really hold his Sonic. So you
mm,
kind of need like a ball joint there so you can move the hand up and down.
yeah,
So you can have it more of in a pointy position.
mm. And
Because
that's something that just comes to standard on a Black Series figure.
yeah, because like you can have Mando pointing up there, or you can have it
Mm,
pointing down there. There's more range of movement there with a figure. Um, you know,
yeah. I mean, like we say, you get what you pay for still because ultimately character is a lot cheaper. Like, what was
mm-hmm.
it, £7? Something a figure we worked out.
Yeah,
Whereas, at retail price, Black Series is now going for 26.
mm-hmm.
It's more very often you'll find them on sale and such, but retail price is never less that. So yeah, but I feel it feels worth it, and it feels like you're getting much a much better collection at the end of the day.
I think that there's more display options with Black Series. Like you said, I think with character figures, you can do a vanilla pose, and that's about it, really,
Mm,
without the help of blue tack and
yeah.
whatever.
So I mean, what about Ace? Is
Hmm.
she one that's got
Ace can be a bit top heavy because she's
ah
got such spindly legs. she doesn't fare quite well,
Mm.
really.
Yeah, because I know that was one of almost like the later figures where they were starting to get a bit more articulation in there, weren't they?
Some figures just don't. I think female characters don't work quite well because they're quite spindly,
Yeah.
so they're naturally a bit top heavy in terms of when you're trying to find their sort of center of gravity to get them to stand up right. Because like Clara does not want to stand up for the life of her. She's faced the Raven plenty of times shelf diving.
Yeah. I mean, you get the occasional one of those with Black Series, like usually a droid figure.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly it's not as common. And so, I mean, female character wise, I've got Bo Katan, Fennec Shand, Ahsoka, and Omega from the Bad Batch. No problems there with them standing.
Like, I think Fennec Shan is like a massive step up for Black Series. I think that's when you see. I think she's the first one really utilizes pinless joints very well.
Yeah, that works amazingly. And one of their best face prints again.
Oh yeah, real great sculpt there. Missy. Oh yeah, Missy's a nightmare to stand up. Missy's the worst.
Oh.
She's great at causing dominoes. She's not.
Aren't you able to utilize the umbrella at all? Get her to lean onto the hat, or is that just not going
to? She can't hold the umbrella.
Oh well,
very well
explains it.
Plumbing character. Don't get out of Black Series.
No.
It just takes you half an hour to actually work out how the accessory goes in the hand.
Yeah, there is that issue sometimes.
But once it's in, it ain't gonna come out.
Yeah. I mean, you do have the odd problem there, like my Bad Batch Echo, because it's the left hand of his that he's got an actual hand, whereas on his right hand he's got a scomp link, a little. For those who don't know Star Wars much, it almost looks like a drill. I don't know. You have them popping out of R2D2 and such. Yeah. But yeah, basically he's part. He not part cyborg. He is cyborg. Like that's the definition of a cyborg is part robot, part human. But yeah, so he's only got one left hand, and usually they only mold a right trigger hand. But for some reason, for Echo, they didn't mold a trigger finger on the left hand, so he can't actually hold his gun properly. So I usually just have to pose him like having it in holster, like grabbing it there, or just not holding the gun at all. Yeah. But minor gripe because it's an amazing looking figure. Although helmet was a bit of a pain to work out how to put on. But yeah. So I think there's also just more playing about you can do with a Black Series. It's just more fun to fiddle with in your hands.
Yeah, because I think maybe because there are a lot more toyetic things in Star Wars, like Ned being the Dark Trooper. I find myself, futzing around with, like mucking around because they're big chunky. I've noticed the figures I really like are like the big chunky ones, like K1. Like Ned B is just got so much hidden articulation. However, you sort of like clear joints to hide. Really clever stuff, really. And definitely worth the price.
Yeah, and then you go back to Doctor Who figures, and there's quite a few who can't even turn their head that much, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's strange, really.
Starshine says, did you know Louise Jameson hates the original Leela figure from the 70s? She spent hours posing for it, only for them not to use her body model and instead use someone else. Oh. Yeah, they reused it from some other range they had, didn't they?
I don't know.
Because it was just, that was a remold, I'm pretty sure. Also, McGann thinks figures are a bit too realistic and close to likeness. He remarks that they're replacing the actors. He must have been watching Batman March's Figure Adventures then.
Yeah, you're like, that's me. I didn't do that. Not at
Was that around the time he was getting a bit disappointed in the Divergent arc? Did he see that and think, Why is the Better McGann free and on YouTube?
Oh
Oh.
goodness
Oh no,
me.
it wouldn't be quite that time because the McGann thing
No,
didn't
no,
come out until much later. But yeah, nevertheless,
no.
funny to think.
2010. 2010.
Yeah. Ooh. I mean, it's
Oh,
just weird thinking back how different the internet was back then, and YouTube
yeah,
was the scene.
yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, still here. I'm still
Yeah.
here.
Dragonbug says, I gave up posing her with the knife.
Leela's terrible. Leela is a
Mm.
terrible figure to stand up. Perry, because she's got tiny little high heels. She's a nightmare.
Is it even more difficult with the two doctors with the long arms? Is it two doctors that have long arms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gorilla Perry. She's
Yeah.
living her best life.
It was an experiment by Syl.
Oh. Well, I mean, Shockeye would definitely have plenty of meat with them arms.
Then
But yeah.
Oh, Dragonbug says, oh god, not Perry.
Yeah. Perry's a weird figure.
Yeah. I mean, my only companion is Joe.
All right, Joe.
It's the B&M one, so her hair's sort of wavy because it was designed to go over like
The Three Doctors. Right,
Three Doctors,
yeah.
where she has like that fluffy coat,
Hmm.
and so it's designed to go over that. Whereas here it's just sort of floating above her shoulders, which at the same time, at least lets you turn her head a bit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, the only figure that's got like a ball jointed head, what's female, is Jodie. Well, I guess that's probably the last innovation character did by not having like the ugly neck joint. They give a ball joint for the head, so it makes it a bit more seamless. So I guess that's the last big innovation, going back to character option innovations, really.
Yeah, for me, it's always on Eccleston in particular that stands out. It's like someone slit his throat.
Oh, poor Eccles boy.
All right. One of the things I am very happy with in my collection, very small collection, is having a complete unit family.
Yes.
In
Well,
just two sets.
We need Liz.
Yeah, but the unit family from
the
70s, as you see it, with Delgado, Pertwee, Joe, and then I've got my Brig, Benton, and Yates from that Claws of Axel set. That was my most recent Doctor Who figure purchase. And I think, got that off Amazon for like 13 quid or something when they were going.
To steal, because the likenesses for like Benton and Yates are insane.
And also, you can actually get them to hold the guns more interestingly because they do have, they've got the ball joints now.
Yeah.
So it does open up some possibilities there.
Because I think 2020 B&M sets is when I think B&M really sort of upped their game in terms of like the sort of head sculpts. Because if you look at Yaz and Ryan, it's scarily good, and like that's not photoreal either. And it just shows that character can still deliver great figures. It's just they just need a bit more money really to get the new sculpts.
Yeah, that's it really, isn't it? That's it. Yeah, I suppose does it also come down to the pandemic? Because even though it's a 2020 wave, the economy hadn't quite died out yet, and it would have been in preparation long before that happened.
I think it's like 18 months, I think, something like that.
Yeah. Whereas for waves after that 2021 and going forwards, that's when things would be going downhill a bit.
Yeah. Because I don't know if the Sensorites and Vord kind of killed like the B&M range, and that's why we sort of got whatever we did last year, to be honest. Because I don't think they sold as well as they should have, which I'm surprised because I think the B&M sets in 2021 were a great mishmash in the form of you're getting a monster and a companion. So I think it serves both camps. If you want aliens, you're getting it. If you want companions, you're getting a companion.
But I suppose maybe dividing that didn't help because then, you can no longer army builds. because you'd end up with multiple Ians or multiple First Doctors.
Well, there was an Ian variant you could do,
Uh,
because I think one Ian had a more realistic paint app, the other had more of a cartoonish look and more heavy paint app. I think sort of a lesser known variant there.
yeah. I suppose just like an odd batch.
Yeah,
Yeah, I suppose you'd have to look out more for, um, you know, the better Ians, I suppose.
but
And that's
they
something again for buying in person, isn't it? You
yeah.
check them all to see which ones look better.
I mean, that is one advantage. Hasbro have gone plastic free, which great, support the environment, all that. But you can't check for quality control. But I guess with Doctor Who, you have no other choice but to go to a shop and get them. Whereas a Black Series, there's more of that. I don't mind what quality I get because I get them online anyway. Really.
Yeah, and I think Black Series is better quality control.
Yeah.
When I look at what I've got, I can't really think of any issues at all at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think they
Yeah.
had some issues in the past. Like I think there was some warping with Boba Fett helmets, and Stormtrooper helmets. But I think even then, plastic-free packaging has helped that because
Yeah.
often it's the plastic in the packaging crunching it that's warping it.
Mm.
Whereas now, because it's wrapped up and such, it's much safer for the parts, so you don't have that problem anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, the other thing, going back to Ian,
Mm-hmm.
that might have hampered that wave a bit is there's no Barbara or Susan. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Dragonbugs has also mentioned that probs Barbara or Susan for this year. I don't know because it was 2021 that was
Yeah.
the wave Ian came along in, so it feels like if they were going to do Barbara and Susan, they would have done it then or at least 2022. I'd happily be proven wrong there, but
I mean, I would like to be proven wrong because it feels wrong having Ian without Barbara. You kind of need the two.
yeah. Maybe season 2 coming out would have given it a boost a bit, and they'll get round to
Yeah.
Barbara and maybe Vicky.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, it would be good
Yeah.
to have all. Would you rather they complete the Hartnell companions first, or move on to a different Doctor, like maybe either complete, Pertwee with Liz, or start on Troughton because he's got no
I think
one,
we need
really no
Jamie.
mates.
Well, he's got Brig,
Hmm.
but that's really cheating.
It's a stretch.
It's a stretch, but
He's in a set that's called 1970s.
But you're kind of like, I'll put him there.
I mean, Invasion technically takes place in the 70s, so
Yeah. But I think it has to be focus on more Doctors to get that representation, and then start plugging the gaps really.
yeah. I mean, I was thinking the other day, Jamie is the obvious second Doctor companion to go for.
Yeah.
But with the kill and everything, that's going to require a bit more new tooling.
Yeah,
like
be a new PVC piece.
Yeah. Like, maybe that would even have to be an online exclusive. Maybe alongside a Yeti.
Yeah, that would sell like hotcakes.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to go. But what about a Power of the Daleks set? Stylish One's face has just lit up. With second Doctor Ben and Polly. Maybe even give him a stovepipe hat. Because I think with Ben and Polly, it's easy enough to easy, relatively speaking, in quotation mark, compared to something like Jamie, where, you just use older molds for the body and then stick a head on. I think they could probably find some there. And then if the budget will stretch to it as well, give Troughton a stovepipe hat.
Yeah. I mean, I think if they were to do another Doctor set, like the 11 Doctor set or 13 Doctor set, I think that's the second Doctor figure they should do. for it, if that's even on the cards.
Yeah.
Which I think they should do another one, really.
Yeah. Have they done a coatless Second Doctor yet?
No, they've not done that.
No, because I think they did do that with the character building. Obviously, because it's a lot
Yeah,
simpler
it
because
did.
it's just a print on a regular
Yeah,
body.
it's
But
true.
yeah, that could be another variant. Yeah, certainly better than Androgam Troughton.
Yes, I think that's one of the worst things in recent years, that Androgam Second Doctor, because it doesn't work. It's a neat idea on paper, but execution, nah, it's whack.
Yeah. Yeah, particularly for a 2 Doctor set, just have the one. And I think probably the more exciting variant there would have been the 6th Doctor in his Hawaiian shirt.
That Perry and the Sontaran, happy days, great set.
Yeah. But if you already had the Jamie mold, you could get away with doing an older Jamie there.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Have that season 6B representation.
Yeah. In particular handy now with the second set of Second Doctor Adventures on the horizon.
Yeah, with Jamie coming back.
Yeah.
Should we talk about on the horizon? I guess we're getting near wrapping up.
Yeah.
Should we talk about like the future of the figures?
Yeah.
What we'd like to see.
We already sort of started on that with potential variants, haven't we?
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, let us know in the chat as well what you would like to see in the future. Like maybe pitch us your ideal wave or something, or ideal set. But be a bit more
your dream figure.
Yeah, dream figure or dream figure set. Sideswan says, now that would be amazing. I'd buy that. Stick Power of the Daleks on something, and I'll buy it. I'm a Troughton fan, and I've only bought Troughton figures. No. Oh, I think Sideswan also asked me a bit earlier. I sort of saw it, but we were. Where's it's like about the Troughton figures. Have I gone past it? Here we go. Luke, have you not been buying the Troughton sets? Even I've bought them and I'm not big into figures. They're the only sets I own. The Troughton fans need to support and enjoy them. Have there been that many? I mean, other than the Evil and Power sets recently.
You had the Abominable Snowman set, War Games TARDIS.
Yeah, I was kind of tempted by that.
I think Troughton's the Doctor that's really lacking, because he's the Doctor of monsters, and all he's really got is Cybermen and a couple of Daleks, and the Ice Warrior, really.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising that they haven't done the 3rd Doctor Ice Warriors. Give them a darker paint.
Yeah, you think that would be an obvious thing, because we've got the Sarah Jane, we've got the 3rd Doctor. Heck, give us those Ice Warriors, really.
Yeah. Also, best and worst figure for each Doctor's era, Stajwan asked earlier. Should we do that first to round off the present before we move on to the future?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, you can always look behind you if you need.
Yeah, that's true. I think best figure for Hartnell, probably 10th Planet Cybermen.
That's a good figure. That's one I've got.
They're really good.
That's one you can do the pose with the arms outstretched. That's why I've got mine done.
Works so well.
I mean, that's more of a new series pose, actually.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, because I don't think there's any images, or I suppose in the story when he grabs, I think it's the general's heads.
Yeah, Cutler. Yeah,
and then makes him unconscious. I suppose that's the closest you get to it. But yeah, certainly there is that Mondasian Cyberman promo where it's holding out its arms towards you. Yeah, I think that's more. It's funny, is that the memory sort of cheats there a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like how I've got my one posed, but it's a 10th planet one, not a World Enough and Time one, for obvious reasons, because there isn't a World Enough and Time one. But yeah, anyway, worst first Doctor figure.
Oh, it's hard because not that much other than, do you say a Dalek? But I guess it would be Source of Pilot, just because it's like a really obscure thing. So I think everything else sort of serves a purpose.
It's almost like you want it to be the one way or the other, but instead it's sort of stuck in the middle.
But it's not bad because it's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's a good representation of what's on screen, and it's also it's a nice little bonus.
I don't want to say Vord is a bad figure because it's a 60s monster, even though the head's a bit too squished for my liking.
Did the big feet at least help it balance?
Oh,
the flippers.
Those boys ain't falling, and the sense rights. They're fine. Exactly. They're good.
Because those ones and the androids from the Fifth Doctor, they do look a bit spindly to me when I've seen pictures. But yeah, as long as the feet are secure, I think that's what helps, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I suppose Second Doctor
now. Ice Warrior, favorite figure.
At least.
At least I'm gonna say this is gonna be really like the Second Doctor from the Toys R Us Dalek Twin Pack.
I see.
I don't like him.
Well, how come?
Because his hands fall off really easy, and I think that annoys me. So I just kind of leave him at the back to his own devices. He's just annoys.
You should put your Anakin Skywalker figure up with him.
I mean, at least he's got a robot hand. Troughton just looks quite harmless, you know.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I was more thinking of because what he does to Dooku.
Oh, true. Yeah. What have I done? Do it.
Just a Troughton on his knees in front of Anakin.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe not. Especially not at the back of the shelf. It looks like they're hiding something there. Third Doctor. This is really tough for you.
Yeah, it's tough. That's tough, actually.
Is it your Sea Devil's Sea Devil's Pertwee?
I think so. Because I think that's probably one of my favourite things of all time.
That's just Pertwee to you, isn't it?
That's just Pertwee. Like, when I think of the Third Doctor, it's the Sea Devil look.
Yeah. Is that like the arm outstretched as well on the beach, holding with Joe under his wing?
That's what we've trying to replicate up there, but I don't know. I can see just about there.
Yeah, I can see it.
Just about see.
Yeah.
But least favourite? I'm gonna cheat and say the computer bank from Time Monster.
Fair enough.
That's really cool. Like, if you were into like figure adventures, it's real great sort of set dressing. So even that's not bad. You know.
Fourth Doctor now.
Fourth Doctor. Ooh, I don't know.
Could it be the robot Tom? I've heard a lot of praise for that one.
Robot Tom's probably my favourite Fourth Doctor figure character I've done, but I'd probably say my favourite Fourth Doctor figure is probably K1. Because again, it's a chunky. K1 is a very toyetic design, so it's a character that lends itself to be a toy, really.
Yeah, that's very true.
So I'd say that. For my favourite, least favourite, I don't know, least favourite Tom Baker figure. Probably the Destiny of the Daleks, Tom Baker. He hasn't got the right scarf, and probably say that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, and now Fifth Doctor.
5 Doctors Pertwee.
Is
that cheating? I don't know.
maybe not. I mean, it's technically from the era.
It's technically from the era.
It's a good figure.
It's a good thing. I'd probably, if I couldn't say that, I'd probably say the Earthshock Cyberman, or just the '80s Cyberman in general. Real great figure.
And least favorite?
The androids from Earthshock.
Okay.
Just because, what can you do with them? We never thought I'd get them. Wild card, like Marcus Scarman. Who would have thought we'd have a Marcus Scarman figure?
Yeah, that is insane.
Yeah,
I think they went Forbidden Planet, wasn't it? Went big on Pyramids of Mars.
I think Pyramids and Remembrance are those are the ones they like, isn't it? Let's just milk that story dry.
I mean, Remembrance you can understand,
Yeah,
because it's mainly Daleks, really. Like you don't have a Chunky Gilmore figure.
no, I mean you could do a Chunky Gilmore if they wanted.
Yeah, yeah, you can easily reuse some Brigadier assets there. Yeah. But I suppose Sixth Doctor era favorite at least. It should be easy to pick the least. It won't be as painful to pick the least.
No, Sixth Doctor. I quite like the first real-time Colin.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd probably say that because he just stands out, or maybe just the Sixth Doctor in general. Because fair play for character for actually doing that figure justice, that costume justice.
Yeah, getting out there into the world.
Getting out there. So yeah, that's it. And then Androgam Second Doctor, pile of poo. Not great. Don't like.
And Seventh Doctor now.
Seventh Doctor. I'll probably say the B&M Imperial Dalek.
Is that the one that came with Ace? Coal Hill School set.
The Coal Hill set. Yeah, probably say that.
Oh, and least
favorite. I'd probably say I don't. This is hard because there's no real.
There's only so much there.
Yeah. Maybe the one what come with a B&M set, the revised Seventh Doctor with the darker jacket, maybe. That with the smiley head.
Oh, that's a bit of a creepy head, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like that McCoy's gonna do stuff to you.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, as such look on character options, they've still got that Warriors of the Deep set, despite it seem meant to be limited edition. Everyone was saying it's going to be gone soon. Not long after, is that it's still here. It's been a year.
Yeah, all the others have sold out pretty much. Like Mechanus and Abominable Snowman set sold out pretty quick.
Yeah, I wonder if they bumped up the number a bit as well.
Maybe.
Yeah, they've still got Regeneration set. They've still got the 13th Doctor and 1975 unit for £10.
Of course.
I mean, I'd be tempted for the Terror of the Zygon set, but it's just that I don't really want Yaz, Graham, and Ryan. Especially because then I'd have to get a 13th Doctor. I can't just have the three companions kicking about without.
You're doing it, mate.
Yeah. But anyway, 8th Doctor. This is where it gets really tough.
I would. This is quite easy, actually.
Oh.
I would say for me, I really like the comic 8th Doctor, the Flood version, and then least favorite probably Jam McGann.
Oh yeah. I think made even more painful by the fact that it was in a very expensive.
Yeah. Set.
Limited. Yeah. 13 Doctor set.
So I'd say that.
Yeah. I think it was also painful because a lot of people weren't able to get that original Night of the Doctor McGann.
Yeah,
that was my hunt as I went through multiple Toys R Us's to find that figure, and never did.
Oh,
I could get it now easily with the free 8th Doctor sets, but I don't want the other two. I can't be bothered. I don't want to have so many
See,
McGanns in my collection just to get
see, that's
one.
the thing with that set. It goes back to what the B&M line started, getting more highly sought after figures, making them more readily available.
Hmm.
But yeah, not ideal.
No. It's surprising that they didn't do a what's it called? Time Lord Victorious one. Do the darker blue coat.
Yeah, that would make more sense, I
Hmm.
think. But no, obviously
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, they seem to very much steer clear. Like character options were the only ones that weren't involved in Time Lord Victorious, really.
Which is sad because the same time they launched Time Lord Victorious, they were doing Doctor Dalek sets. So like, it's a no-brainer if they're doing it for Big Finish. Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
they could. Yeah, there was a lot of wasted opportunity there.
But yeah, that's just Time Lord Victorious in general, to be honest.
Yeah. But anyway, Ninth Doctor. I mean,
Uh,
least favorite should be easy.
Rose.
Yeah. Is
Even though that
Destroyed Cassandra technically Ninth Doctor? Or is that 10th because it was also
that's
in?
10th. That's
Ah,
10th.
I suppose. Yeah, it doesn't have the bits of skin
Yeah.
hanging off.
Um, that's not a figure we need.
No.
It's only
The
Cassandra we're
mid.
technically missing.
Hmm.
Exploding Cassandra.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you could probably get your original, just melt a hole in the middle, and that'll look
Or could
great.
I say the Series 1 Captain Jack because Barrowman? I don't know. Oh, he's throwing shade. Oh.
Yeah, it's also a bit of an
Um,
awkward figure, isn't it?
yeah, but it's give us classic Autumn, so swings
Yeah.
and roundabouts.
Yeah, and
Um,
favourite.
Favorite wild card, the mutant reveal Dalek. The
Ah,
sculpt may be wrong, but I loved that figure as a kid, and there's still a part of me that loves it now.
I suppose there's only so much you can really like. You can't do a quite accurate mutant reveal, can you? With like the
No,
bits folding
I mean
out,
I
but
would love if you press the hemisphere, it just all folds out, and it'd be
yeah, that.
amazing. That's the next evolution for character. Come on, guys, get on it.
Yeah, I'm sure Black Series could do something like that. So,
Yeah, Black Suit can do a character. Why are you slacking?
mm. But yeah, Siri, 10th Doctor now.
Time Doctor's difficult because there's a load.
Mm.
Oh,
Go really controversial and pick one from the recent Doctors.
to be honest, I'd probably say it would be that dodgy tenant. It would be that
Oh,
because
what is the least? Yeah.
yeah,
But is it even technically 10th Doctor era? Because it's weird comic that wasn't even actually part of the story.
yeah, but it's
But
just poorly
I'll let you
executed.
have it. I'll let you have it.
Let me have it. What else? What's my favourite? I really like the Vest before. I mean, that's a flex.
Oh,
That's a
yeah,
flex.
right.
But I don't know. There's some really. I like the clockwork droids. I think they're really cool because you can take off the mask and see the inner clockwork thing. Yeah, I'd say that's got a lot of playability.
Yeah. Oh, 11th Doctor now. We're nearly there.
11 for Doctor. Oh, what can we say for 11th Doctor? I'd probably say bearded Matt Smith, the least favourite.
Oh.
Why do we need that? Who
Is it
asked
even
for it?
molded or is it just painted on?
I think it is moulded.
Hmm.
And they went all out with like the straight jacket 11th Doctor by giving him like double jointed elbows. They're like,
Hasn't he got like no hands as well?
yeah,
With like
so
weird spin.
it's just like the things you do to tie the figure up. It's so
Yeah.
bizarre. I
Hmm.
admire the balls of it, but it's like, who really asked for it?
I'm surprised they haven't what's used that mold and given us the fourth Doctor from some makers.
Yeah, that's true.
That could be interesting reuse.
There we go. That's a custom idea.
Straight jacket, Tom.
Um,
Yeah, and favourite now.
do I go with my inner nostalgia, or do I go with objectively what I think is a great figure from that era?
Letting the nostalgia take over.
I'd probably say the Victory of the Daleks 11th Doctor.
Oh.
The Series 5 11th Doctor, best Matt Smith figure for me.
I think you can let nostalgia take over now anyway, because a lot
Yeah.
of these aren't able to buy.
Mm.
It's like, you know, when you're doing a review of something that's just come out and people are watching it wondering what they should get, that's when it's more important to go for this is objectively what I feel is the best. Whereas, you know, when it comes to more personal preference, I think now we can get away with that looking back, because sadly a lot of those figures just are very hard to get.
Yeah.
But yeah, 12th Doctor now. This should be... There's only so much to choose from.
Capaldi, Missy.
Which shade of Capaldi is your favourite and which shade is your least? Or is it Clara?
Can I show you my Clara? Because that's not a euphemism, I swear. Where is she? Where is she? Because mine's really dodgy. I need to find her. Where is she? Oh, there she is.
Oh, he's showing us his dodgy Clara.
Right. The paint is chipped horribly, and the arms.
Oh, there it goes.
It's rubbish.
Oh dear. That least favourite then.
I think that's got to be least favourite, because what even is that? You know,
isn't it technically Time of the Doctor?
I don't know. Like, the paint's chipped really bad on the arm as well. Like, it's really badly painted.
Bad skin day.
I don't know what to do. So yeah, least favourite of that. Best. What is my favourite Capaldi?
They're all so similar, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
I went for just the plain white shirt when I got them.
That's really rare.
I think I was more into the purple, but I don't think they had it, so I went white instead.
I think that's a good figure. That's good. But I'd probably say the Under the Lake Before the Flood Capaldi.
Yeah, they did a couple more, didn't they?
I'd probably say that's probably my favourite Capaldi.
Has he got a hoodie in that?
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the hoodie, but it works for a figure, so I'll take it. I might be a good video, doing a video of like definitive Doctors for your shelf and companion.
Yeah,
that might be something.
Okay. The ideas are flowing. I mean, funny, just a side note, looking at the time on this, we're 2 hours 52 minutes in, but I feel like we're in a good flow of conversation.
Yeah.
And I think hopefully everyone in the chat are having fun as well, who's sticking with us.
Yeah.
That's what we didn't start Dolly talk until an hour in, so maybe that's helped a bit. But
we've eased into it.
Yeah, if you are enjoying this, do leave a like. That's be very much appreciated. But yeah, 13th Doctor now, nearly there.
We can breeze through this one. Recon Dalek, amazing figure, love it. And then least favourite, probably the first Graham figure.
That one
because it's just all blue, and it's like not great.
Yeah, he very much looks like he's almost in workman overalls.
Yeah, it feels like he's in Kablam when he's like the cleaner or janitor. Yeah, you're quite caretaker, is he?
Yeah, should come with a mop prop.
Literally, they've got a mop from like the 11th Doctor figure. So, with like the.
Did they reuse it with the 7th as well?
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, so that was Silver Nemesis, wasn't it?
Yeah, Silver Nemesis.
Maybe that could be upcoming with a Fez as well.
Online exclusive. He comes with a hat now. Buy it. Yeah.
Oh, no. And finally, 14th Doctor.
14th Doctor. Tough one. Tough one. Yeah, it's just 14th Doctor. Yeah, that's all we can say.
Favourite and least.
Favourite, least favourite, you know?
Yeah, Dragonbug said for their favourites, 10th Planet Cyberman for the first.
Good.
Ice Warrior for the second.
Yeah.
Drashig for the third.
Good shout.
Davros for the fourth.
Nice.
Silurians for the fifth.
Yeah, good.
Attack of the Cybermen with the open face for the sixth. Oh, that was a creepy one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that'll have a nice bit of artistic license, that one.
And Davros again for the seventh.
There
you go. Well, thank you for that, Dragon Bugs.
Yeah, appreciate it. should we move on to like I guess the final bit of Dolly talk for the night?
Yeah.
The future.
Mm.
What would we like to see? Because I know a lot of people are talking about TARDIS console rooms. I think they should have happened by now. To be honest, they could
They
easily have
folded
done.
it.
They if
Why
and
have a
they got it.
character?
They got it wrong. They did like a 5-sided console room. So if Daypol can do it, come on, character.
Yeah. I mean,
But
yeah, because we had. Did they do an 11th Doctor version 2? Like the.
there was
Oh,
gonna
was it
be
3.75?
yeah, it was 3.75, but again, that
Ah,
never left the probably design table. I think.
hmm.
But they could easily do a classic console room if they did it like a rotacast,
Yeah.
and just
Like,
say it's
even
from
just.
Inferno. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, even just the console itself, really. You don't necessarily. I mean, yeah, the walls shouldn't be too hard to do either. Just literally get
Yeah,
2 walls and have it be the size. You don't have to do like a floor and a whole like play set arrangement like they did for
the
the
tenth Doctor
10th
one.
Doctor and 11th. It can just be a couple of little props,
Hmm.
and then you can have different backdrops for each one. Like,
Yeah,
it could be a more blow up look for the second Doctor. You can have like the weird dish bowls for the third. Yeah, there's lots of different options there.
I think
Get
that.
like the what's it called? Fault locator.
I think that leads me on to what I want characters to do in the future.
Mm.
It's sort of like a HasLab thing. If you don't know what HasLab is, it's basically like a crowdfunder for figures. It's basically if it reaches its target, it gets made. And I think if they did it for like a classic console room, people would happily
Yeah. I
back
think
it.
it was also like each milestone they hit, they added like little bonuses in as well, didn't they?
Yeah. So if you support it, you could get a different wall or so, it's, something daft like that, or you can get like the ornaments from like the first Doctor TARDIS, like the gold pillows and all that sort of stuff, like the space
Yeah.
time visualizer stuff like that. Really would be cool.
Mm. Yeah, that'd probably be the way to go.
Or like the beds from like Planet of the Daleks.
Would you then, if you got like start to get console rooms, would you then sort of have to start your own separate display where you actually have the characters around them?
I think yeah, because I've
With them?
got the consoles all over the place.
Mm.
So yeah, I think they'd have to go in their own little area.
Yeah, I suppose that could be how you ease out some of your figures behind you as well, and get the ones
Yeah,
that are out of rotation go into the TARDISes.
that's a good way really of doing
Get
it.
some Cybermen in the Earthshock or Attack of the Cybermen vibe.
Yeah, you could
That'd
do.
be a good little scene.
Yeah. I mean, Bessie is my dream thing to have.
Or if it's you can only get Bessie or a Humabill,
Oh,
which one?
Bessie,
Ah,
easy. I mean, my dream figure set would be like Liz Shaw, Bessie, and a Silurian.
ooh,
That would be my dream figure set. Ice Lord. I'm surprised they've never done an Ice Lord
yeah.
because
And
you kind of need it for your Ice Warriors.
you could get a few different variations out of that as well, because you got Slar, and then you can stick a cape on. It can be the ones from Monster and is it Islia?
Islia and Azixia.
Yeah, Azixia's Monster, isn't he? And Islia is Cursed.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think mainly for me, what I want in the future is just more monsters. To be honest, I think that's where I think every figure line excels. So
Yeah.
let's flesh out Troughton. Let's begin, fleshing out the 80s a bit more. Give us a pterodactyl. I would love a pterodactyl figure.
But a salamander figure.
They could do a salamander, actually. They could do a Troughton, stick it on like a clockwork robot body, tweak the legs. Bosh, you've got a salamander, really.
Yeah. And speaking of toyetic things, we've mentioned a
Mm.
few times, a quark would work very
Yes.
well as a toy.
Mm.
I really think like less as a toy, more as a novelty piece. There
Mhm.
should, you can get portable chargers.
Yeah.
Have a quark as a portable charger. That would be brilliant. Recharge and equalize your phone on the go with your quark.
More
Come on.
power. Oh, see, we're trademarking that. That's the
Yeah,
merch we're launching along with Stones
mm,
Troughton and his
yeah.
Dropkick a Child. There we go. Oh, yeah. Mel reusing Helen Cotton Primeval figure? Yeah, I can see that working.
Oh, some war games figures maybe. Wonder what you could do.
Maybe you could do like the security guards from like war games because they're just in black, sort of
Yeah,
like the
but
Vaughn,
then
aren't
would
they?
that just be another case of Ward syndrome?
Yeah.
Would they be using that mold again? I
Could
think people have.
you do the war chief and put him
Yeah,
on like Delgado's body?
yeah, you probably could. It's quite similar, isn't it?
Yeah.
Costume. Yeah, just make it a bit more greyish, isn't it? Like a bluey grey, I think, in the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, give him like the necklace.
Mm. And then that sparks rumor of going, oh my god, he actually is the master.
Hmm. There you have it.
He's not.
Yeah, you could probably do the war lord as well with that same
Yeah,
body.
probably could.
Yeah. I wonder why they never got around to Solon.
Mm.
Maybe that would be a good like 2-pack, Morbius and Solon.
I feel like we're gonna get Morbius again and
Hmm.
like Scaroth. I feel like we'll get those again.
Yeah. The Fourth Doctor ones always seem to go down well, don't they? So
Oh yeah.
Dragon
Absolutely.
Bugs has screamed Crotons into the chat. Yes, they would make
Honestly,
rather good toys.
they could do that so easily. And you could even have it like fire water if you wanted. Imagine that, like you could squeeze
Yeah.
it and fire the water. It'd be cool.
Have it have a wind up head. You
Mm.
twist it round, then you let it go, and it's spinning like mad, like in the story.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
I also feel if a companion appears alongside multiple doctors, they should try and make variants to go with each of them.
Mm. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Get Ben in his sailor's hat to go with the first Doctor.
Oi, oi.
There we have it. A war machine.
Yes, a war machine would be brilliant.
Yeah. Was it you or was it just James who got the what they call the
James
figurine
got
days?
James got Eagle Moss. I would love a Zalby as well.
I think you got your Agador, didn't you?
Yeah, and I've got another one of them coming soon.
Uh,
Hopefully it arrives in one piece.
you're going to be reviewing those as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to review Agador to go with season 9.
Mm. That's exciting. That's now, I mean, in a week's time, people will be getting that probably. It'll be out in the wild.
Yeah. People are paying extra money to get it early when it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty safe to say at this point it's not been delayed. I think we're touch wood still, but yeah, I think we're at a good point there.
Yeah, the season 9 stream can still happen. We're fine.
Yeah, we're on schedule for that. Joe Bowers says an Ogron and a Draconian 2-pack.
Yes, that and like a third Doctor from Frontier, because that seems like a no-brainer figure. Because we've got basically you just need to repaint the Time Warrior third Doctor shirt green. You got it.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Can I do who are you fighting tonight, Joe?
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Karate Joe.
Too a complicated figure to make.
Yeah, and then she can have a big Converse on.
Yeah. Earth Commissioner, Master with the big collar.
That could work
That's
with a bit of retooling. Yeah, I can
yeah.
see that working.
Sarge says, "Give me anything, Second Doctor. He's always neglected." Indeed,
Yeah.
he does. Yeah, he deserves some more
Yeah.
figures. Do you think we're going to be getting new series based stuff like pretty soon after the series itself? Are we going to get that weird slug thing that was seen on location?
Yeah, I think we're gonna get a Beat the Meep. I think we're gonna get a Wrath Warrior. I think we're gonna get a wave of figures, basically.
Yeah,
I think it's safe to say, if
yeah,
with how quickly the Regeneration set came out, I think it's safe to say that we're gonna not be the same level as we were in 2006, but we're gonna be in a better place than what we have been.
I mean, I think they've already built into that 14th Doctor figure a coatless version, haven't they?
Yeah.
So they can get that out. They'll probably do another, just standard release of him without the regeneration set. Maybe probably with something tweaked.
They've said that figure's not getting released again.
Oh.
But the thing is, they can easily do that figure, but with glasses, so you're still getting the jacket.
Yeah.
But you'll probably just get it with the glasses head, which is fine,
Yeah.
It seems wrong to lock the main outfit for that Doctor in an exclusive set. So I think we'll see a variant of that with glasses for like mass retail, probably.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, will it go beyond B&M now? And if that goes well, could that then see even more going beyond B&M, like how the classic series figures when they started up?
I feel like we'll see Doctor Who figures on the Disney store. We've seen it, Doctor Who comics already appearing in the Disney store. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Disney store exclusive figures.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a case of once, especially like if it goes down very well in America, being on Disney Plus, that could open up a lot of new possibilities.
Yeah, and I think it will.
Yeah, I think they are putting a lot of faith behind this. Because certainly
this
BBC America, it's all like more tucked away, isn't it?
Yeah.
Disney Plus is, the gold standard really when it comes to just in terms of having eyes on it in that medium.
I'd say so.
Yeah. Especially if they really push it well, which they should, and hopefully will.
They will. They will. It's Russell. He's a marketing machine. He'll be all on it.
I more just mean like in terms of the Disney Plus marketing as well, like having it be on the banner and such.
Yeah.
Yeah, new login. I mean, not that I don't think we'll get to see that, will we?
No, unless somebody tweets it.
Yeah, we'll see screenshots of it. If we get a VPN, we can go check it out. But we don't need to because we could just watch it on iPlayer.
Yeah, and have it on our shelves.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's pretty much us done. I think we've covered a whole lot of Dolly talk, really.
Yeah, it's been a good one.
It's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you everyone who's stuck around to chat with us for this and given some very interesting thoughts for us to discuss as well.
Yeah, it's always nice to hear your guys' thoughts. Lurkers, we appreciate you if you've not been active in the chat, and if you're watching on replay, we appreciate you taking your time out of your daily routine.
Dragonbug says, been a good stream. Thank you, Dragonbug. Glad you enjoyed. Stylish one. Thank you for a great stream. Stream. You're very welcome, Stylish one. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it's a nice little change of pace, really, because we're, as you saw from the start of the stream, we're so engrossed in the world of Big Finish. It's nice just to go, we're going to leave that for a little bit. We're going to talk a bit about other things, like not only Doctor Who figures, but Black Series. Because I think you wanted to do a stream just to talk a little bit about Black Series.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's sort of like what we always do after the stream as well.
Yeah.
And so it's sort of like just a thing of, wouldn't it be nice if we let people into this other side of the hobby? Because, I mean, you put a little short out, didn't you, with them to
Yeah,
celebrate the start of Mando season 3?
yeah, and I'll probably do one on May 4th with all the Black Series figures I have.
Nah, no. Is the Black Series video ever going to come? You recorded it, didn't you?
Yeah, it's recorded, but I feel
yeah.
like I might need to redo it now. Because I feel like my opinions have changed and there's a lot more new figures there, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always emotion is the future.
It is, and I've got my eyes on more. So
I think we've got to have a reveal of the new sculpt Mando soon as well.
Yes,
like that's going to come on a Mando Monday at some point.
I was hoping to be this week, but
no. I'm sort of worried they're going to do a new Bo-Katan at some point. So I've got my bow. I don't want to replace it, but I'd be tempted if it.
I mean, you can start like a Clone Wars display or
yeah,
Rebels. You can put it there. Fine.
Yeah, I mean the wig looks incredible at the moment of Bo. And if it's got the shield, and you compare it to Darksaber,
yeah,
do you like the almost Kenobi, I suppose? That'd be cool.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah. Brilliant. Anyway, the Primord Infectant says bye. Yeah, we were saying goodbye, weren't we? When we got
we were saying goodbye. We're talking. We're starting our off-air chat while we're still live.
Yeah, it takes us ages to get these streams started, and it takes us ages to finish them as well.
Yeah, once we get started, we're just like, we're really enjoying it. We're vibing. It's great.
Yeah, and I mean, hopefully everyone else is enjoying it as well. But
absolutely,
can only go on for so long. We have to bid our farewells now.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good.
Yeah, Joe Bowers says, thanks, guys. It was nice to have a different kind of stream. Fingers crossed we get more companions and the Troughton and McCoy era gets beefed up indeed.
100% agree with that. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed a different style of stream here than our usual. But yeah, we will be back to our usual style next week as we talk about the return of Joe Jones.
Will
get
the
some third
CD
Doctor in.
be here?
Who
knows?
It's the endless question at this point. It's going to come up every week.
Yeah. It's something like the 9th Doctor vinyl. Still no 9th Doctor vinyl.
But yeah, and that'll be perfectly timed as we lead up to season 9. Yeah, I mean, the week after, we're doing 5th Doctor. And then the week after that, to give ourselves a bit of time to actually digest and get through everything that's on those 8 discs, we will be doing our season 9 stream, 31st of March.
It will soon come around.
Yeah, we're a third of the way through the month already. Wow. But yeah. Is that all?
That's all, yeah. Thank you everyone for joining. If you've enjoyed the stream, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Helps us out. And we can continue building this lovely community of lovely people. Because we want it to be a safe space. We don't like any drama. We're just here to send positive vibes and, be honest and critique things when we find fault with things, really.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. We don't like that Stephen Noonan, do we? When he drops in, messing up, causing drama.
We love him. We love him.
Friend of the channel.
Friend of the channel. Good old Stephen.
Yeah, great having him here. And great having all you lovely people with us as well. Thank you. Mr. Monk Cactus, Stylish One, Dragon Bugs, Joe Powers, and all the rest of you. You've been amazing tonight. It's been a great time.
It's been a pleasure as always. We'll be back on Friday.
Yeah, we will. And if you're watching this on rewatch, feel free to drop a comment down below. Let us know favorite figure and first
what
figure
you want.
as well.
Yeah, first figure.
Yeah,
what you want.
Favorite figure, first figure, and most wanted figure for the future. There you go.
There we go.
We're giving you homework.
There's your homework. There we go. So yeah, thank you for everyone. We've said goodbye long enough. We'll be back next week for the return of Joe Jones. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you then.
Bye.